Welcome to Us versus Movies. I am your host today, Dustin, joined by Kevin.
Holla. I'm sorry.
And I was just going to acknowledge it and move on. We are talking about the guest house, not the guest house. We're talking about Guest House 2020 edition. This is a really generic title. A lot of things will come up, so you got to type in the 2020 part. Rated R, runtime, hour 24 minutes. It will feel like 3. Released on September 4th, 2020, year of our demonic rising.
What?
Come on, man. It's 2020. There ain't no God now.
Wow.
Anyway, Kevin, who wrote this fucking thing and directed it, possibly?
A bunch of bro dudes? A bunch of
jabronis, maybe?
Yeah, Sam McConey. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Sam. He
I
wrote it.
believe it's macaroni, actually.
What? Are you serious?
It's macaroni.
I'll go with it.
It's literally macaroni. I'm pretty sure it's macaroni. It's probably pronounced macaroni or some shit.
That's what I was trying to do, but
nah,
yeah,
fuck them.
Can't deny the Sam Mac. Directed it. It was his idea. He wrote some of it, and then he got his boy Troy Duffy and Sean Bishop. They jumped in on it, and it's evident.
Cleaned it up.
But if they cleaned it up, they were just like, "Listen, we can't get all the stains out, so fuck it."
Sometimes when you murder someone on sheets, they're now your murder sheets, and that's it.
And I know when this movie popped up on our radar, we were like, "Oh, this looks like a hilarious romp starring Pauly Shore, right?"
I mean, those were the words you said. I didn't quite say that, but yes.
I mean, dude,
I was like, Pauly Shore, sure, I'll give him a shot.
Yeah, right. Okay, love him or hate him, he had a huge boom in the 90s of all these Pauly Shore movies, right? It's just him kind of doing the same character over and over.
The Weasel.
Yeah, exactly. Character. Not so Weasley in this.
No, what was the catchphrase?
It's basically
Bunt or something.
No, it was based off his name. I thought his name is Randy Cockfield in the movie, and guess how many jokes you can get out of that? Everyone, fucking none,
just
0.
One over and over.
No, it's not even a joke because a joke would indicate that it's fucking funny.
That's true.
And he just stops and he's like, "Hey man, you're running through the field and she's in the field and then the field of dreams and Costner's there. Have you seen Yellowstone? Fabulous show." You're just like, okay, tell me more, Pauly. It's just this, they keep bringing it up. It never works. It's never seamless. It's never smooth. But whatever. He's in it. He's our guest house patron.
Yeah.
Amy Teagarden as Sarah. They got Billy Zane. He's Sarah's dad.
The Phantom.
Dude, he is so underused in this. They could have had him do some kicks.
That's Billy Zane's fucking entire career, Kevin.
Dude,
okay, underused.
Oh, yeah, man. I was so waiting for him just to go quote unquote ham. Do the kids still say ham? And he didn't.
Not the cool ones.
No, they don't. All the virgins, am I right? Listeners?
We don't have any.
Listen to the two of them.
One was like, "Hey man, I'm protecting my V. Don't talk about me."
Shut up, virgin. Just tell me who's in the fucking movie. Lou Ferrigno Jr. Like the Hulk had a kid, and it's him, Kip.
He's also Lou Ferrigno Sr.
Exactly. He's in here.
Who just left Santa Monica. He's like, nah, I can't take it. I can't see a junkie shooting up and shitting on my lawn one more fucking morning. I'm out.
Wait, what part of Santa Monica is he in? There's nice parts.
Apparently, it's being overrun by human feces, and so there's no more nice parts, according to him.
Yikes. Speaking of human feces, Steve-O. Sorry, Steve-O, that was too easy. He's the Shred Man. He's basically I don't know.
Those character names yet.
Is he supposed to be like Rob Dyrdek in this? Like a successful monster drinking skater entrepreneur?
I assume so. Or just Steve-O.
Right.
Better credit.
Yeah. And then Oh yeah, and then I want to say the best for last. A favorite of mine, Eric Griffin. You might have recognized him from. He's like a real character actor. He's been in a bunch of
Oh
little
my God,
stuff.
you actually like him?
Dude,
Yes.
he's on Workaholics, and I loved him on Workaholics.
He plays just every time I see him not on Workaholics, he plays this character where it just doesn't work
Well,
at
that's all
all.
they give him, dude. That's all he ever gets. And I think
Oh,
I like to see what he does when because I want to say a lot of scenes were ad-libbed, and I think they kind of let him go. And I
that
can
was
tell they just didn't try
probably.
to stop Pauly Shore. They were just like, dude,
I think the problem was definitely the ad libbing. In fact, ad libbing is just becoming a huge problem in comedic movies. In
yeah, like I could see that. Chris
You can't.
Kattan,
You can, you're gonna go Chris Kattan before you get the main guy,
dude,
the guy we
I'm
spent
gonna save
95%
it.
of the movie for.
No, I don't enjoy that fellow, so he'll be towards the end.
Chris Kattan should have been his credit as delivery guy Ricky.
He should have been the movie.
He should. I was like, "Where's the delivery guy Ricky movie? I want to see that."
I
That
want
scene
that.
also was about 5 minutes longer than it should have been. It should have just let it ended with him saying, "Yes, this is happening," and that would
Yeah.
have been fucking
He
fantastic.
could have like, stood up with sticky pants or something or a wet crotch and I would have laughed and
Oh
then
my god, that would have been very Chris Kattan.
exactly anything like that when he's doing that weird mousy voice he likes to do.
I mean, he can't talk like that anymore. I think he got into an accident. That's why he had that like weird,
What's
like
this real?
like his awkward bodiness where it looked like he was wearing a vest underneath. I think that's real.
Oh, really? They look like a fat suit or something.
No, I think he has to really wear that. That's why his like movements were really stiff and stuff. So
Right now I feel bad.
I mean, why? I didn't. It's not like you like railroaded. You said he was your favorite almost. So I don't.
Almost. He was the one of my favorite takeaways. He was on there for five
All you
seconds.
wanted was him to shit his pants or something. And
Yeah, I mean, well, he's having a romantic, engagement with a
no,
female, and
don't jump ahead. Just get through the cast. God damn it! You're saying
uh,
all these hot points for them.
and the only reason I wanted to see it is had Bobby Lee in there as Benny.
What the
I,
fuck? Cover the main guy.
I don't know his name.
Mike Castle as Blake Renner.
Dude,
That's
his name is so far down on IMDb.
I know whoever put this together was a dick to this guy.
I was
They were
trying to
like,
read it and I was kind of like, did I miss him?
the guy that's on fucking Superstore almost got put before him, and he's in the movie for 35 seconds. So that was
Yeah, and
Felipe Esperanza.
this I don't like this guy.
The main guy?
Yeah, was not feeling it, man. I was like, I thought the way he's so monotone and comes off real just hollow and dopey, and it bothered me a lot. Very unlikable.
I mean,
Just real,
find me someone in this movie that was likable.
dude. Bobby Lee.
No.
Wait till we get to hit the scenes that I loved
All right. Well, I mean,
for 35 seconds, and they're like,
Other
Bobby,
than Bobby,
Bobby, we've had enough.
he was
Bobby, if
very.
you're listening, like, dude, hit me up. I will write something for you, and it's going to be fucking hilarious,
He's
man.
like, it will never get made. You think?
No, we'll
you think
make it.
fucking I haven't tried.
Dude, Chris Kattan, this was a favor film. He showed up and did a favor. I know
Yeah.
Bobby knows some big people. We can do some favors.
He's like,
I
this
want to
is it.
write a
This is what they gave me. They gave me fucking Guest House with Polly.
no. I want a character-driven comedy with Bobby Lee. I'm tired of him just showing up for 30 seconds, 2 minutes, just really just kind of just up there sludging around. I'm like, dude, this guy is awesome. Somebody give him something with some meat so he can fucking kill it.
I
Someone.
mean, this was a step up from his role in The Wrong Missy, for sure, because at least there was attempts at comedy rather than just having
yes.
like, oh, Bobby Lee's working in Hawaii right now. Let's just have him be the front desk clerk. You know,
Bobby, I tried that Magnum show. Do you want to do this thing?
he's actually not horrible on that show. For some reason I've only seen the episodes he's on, and he plays like this, just like this scummy criminal guy who's always in trouble and running to Magnum, and it actually works. He gets to actually be funny on it. Like,
Good. That warms my heart.
Like, CBS funny, but still.
Hey,
Better than what he was in this.
say no more.
So, guest house, as the name implies, there's going to be war with a guest house. Like, that should just be evident when we say Pauly Shore and guest house.
You want to know?
Imagine buying a house and Pauly Shore is living in the guest house.
Right.
You think this is a good situation? Why did you find yourself here? Why are you doing this to yourself?
So yeah, that's the thing, right? So on the cover, it's Pauly Shore eating like some fucking chips, and there's a possum with a cowboy hat, and he's just got his feet. I'm laughing already, right?
Rainbow cowboy hat. Yeah, he has his pants on with his feet in.
Hilarious.
You can't even really tell it's Pauly Shore. They put glasses on him, and his hair is like permed for some reason, kind of. So
maybe it's just, I think it's his natural curl and it's just shorter. It's not long, and he's not the Pauly Shore of lore and what you've known, right? And then on the cover,
not the weasel.
He's not the weasel.
He's the weasel's father.
Right. He's come around. He's come full circle. You got the cast. You got like Steve-O in the background. You got like Bobby Lee, and then you have like the couple on the other side. You're like, oh man, is this going to be like a versus movie where they're just beefing the whole time? It kind of is, but they use no other characters and nothing funny happens, and you're just really like, what the? It's rated R, so there's just boobs and drug use everywhere. But there's a lot of boobs
and a lot of swearing too.
There's a lot,
but like the gratuitous amount of boobs. Like the amount of women they were able to just dupe into, you're going to be in a movie. Show me the titties.
Time for a boob rodeo.
Yeah. I'm sure that day of filming, they were just like, fuck yeah, this is why I'm in Hollywood. So.
I wonder if people say that.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they were just like walking around with half chubs and high-fiving. Are you going to go to the bathroom and pound one out on your break? Oh, you know it, broseph.
God, please say everyone talks like that.
I'm sure they did. There, hey man, I'm gonna go set up the lights now.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Pauly Shore's
that's
like,
how the gaffers talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the set now. That was Pauly Shore that talked too.
Oh, I got
it. The movie starts off with college because it has a lot of context. We see our main character Blake. He is partying. He's partying hard.
Dustin, may I?
Go ahead. I mean, I was going somewhere with that, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go continue. Like, no, if that's when you kind of jump in and say, "Hold on, let me finish," and I'll go, "Very good."
All right, go ahead. That's fine. No, we'll go for it.
I was like, "What the fuck is this? This is like it's shot on like."
That's fine. That's where I was going with this.
Some sort of like 9mm kidnap. Are these people dead? Is this from Chernobyl? What is this I'm watching?
There's a man with sunglasses on. I couldn't understand his face or demeanor. I'm not trying to pick on him. I was just very confused. I thought it was Nick Kroll for some reason, and I was like, "What is he doing in this movie?" And he just looks very unimpressed with being in the movie, like
with the camera on him,
with
shot
the camera
in this format.
Yeah. I didn't understand what he was going for, but we see Blake. You don't know why.
I didn't recognize him, dude.
He's in an acid-washed jean jacket, and let me just tell you guys, this movie's happening basically 4 years in the past. So he's wearing an acid-washed denim jacket 4 years in the past.
It had like a weird late 90s like crust punk grunge vibe with the characters, and I was like, is this like, what is this? Like,
that just must have been what the wardrobe person was into.
This is what they had on their closet. They were like, bro,
here's what I'm not wearing today. They're like, oh, are these clean? So you're going to pick something? Or like, see you glazed over my question there. So Blake's standing there. He's high. He's drunk. He's probably annoyed everyone in the room. I mean, he definitely annoyed me.
He's living his best life, as the kids like to say.
And then in walks Sarah with her boyfriend. I assume that was Kip at the time. I don't know. I wasn't back to check. I just assumed. And they talk for 32 seconds, I'm going to say. He touches her arm. She walks away with her boyfriend, who seems very possessive and not cool with her talking to other dudes at a party.
Dude, I
Probably
wouldn't. If my
probably
girlfriend was talking
understandable
to
if
a
that
dude
was
that
the
looked like
guy.
that guy, I guess
Yeah.
like, well, I guess I'm punching this guy out.
Oh, this is what you're talking to this fucking guy? Look at this guy with his acid wash bullshit. I mean, he's high on everything. I saw him in the bathroom. He pissed on the fucking toilet seat. Didn't lift it. He just pissed on it.
That's the one. That's what
And it
cops
was
do to
weird because
check
I
you.
was using it.
I was doing a number 2.
Doing a number 2. He just pissed behind me all over my fucking ass.
Upper decker.
Disgusting. And then it's just boom, 3 years in the future. And I was like, wow. We probably could have just started here, everybody.
Could have just started
Because
here.
there's a throwaway line later on that would have just completely justified everything you tried to attempt to show me.
Yeah, could have just started here.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that popped in my head. And I think they're pulling up to an open house, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, well, it's just a house that's for sale.
Okay.
Probably in Toluca Lake from the looks of it. That was my guess. And look it up.
They're like, we won't.
They're like, we won't. But they pull in. Here's a very different Blake. He's dressed nicely. He has shaved. He doesn't look high.
He's real.
Sarah.
He's real generic white Hollywood Jesse Eisenberg, skinny white dude that's awkward and mumbles.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's real awkward. Yeah, dude.
I mean, I didn't hate him as much as Kevin did. But
I just hate this
understand
style of character. It's so like just huge pussy, just standing there going, oh, hey babe, I just I was like, say something, please say something. And then it's always just he's just saying jokes and shit. Oh, you know what I mean? Oh, come on, you know what I mean? He's almost kind of borderline annoying, like full blown annoying, a little bit rude to the girlfriend or the significant other. It's one of those characters.
Not in the beginning, he's not.
No, everything he says, it's got a little hinge of condescend, you know, and he's just condescending just a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, all right, that's fine. That's your opinion. I didn't catch that, at least not in the beginning. Like definitely towards the end.
Look in the mirror, single tear.
Can't believe he called me out like that via this character. So they pull up. They do this little prep talk. They're just like, man, she's like, we've seen how many houses? He's like 7. She's like, no, it's 11. I was like, why are we making a 7-Eleven joke? And also, who cares?
That's what you got that for that? I didn't see
Well, I mean, I don't know if that was their goal, but that's what they did. So they go in. He's like, shut up and take my money. And I was like, oh, we're doing memes. We got the fry meme. That's good. We're stealing our dialogue from the internet. That's excellent. So they're both very impressed with the house.
No, they're not, dude. The girlfriend's like, calm down. We're supposed to be playing it tough, playing it cool, man.
Yeah, but you can tell she's in.
We're pool sharks over here. This is the color of fucking money, bro. And he's like, take my money, meme. And then the realtor's just like, hey, check out this backyard. And then
hold on now, because you were skipping the part I wanted to talk about, which is he says, look at this kitchen before you can see the entire kitchen. You can only see like the fucking island, and that was it. And it wasn't even like the same kitchen later on that they showed. So it was like, what the fuck's up with this kitchen? But yeah, and then they go to the backyard, and then
Role reversal. She says, shut up and take my money. Holy shit, look at this backyard.
Yeah. And they're swearing a lot, and you're just like, oh, that's fine. They're that couple. I get it. And that's fine.
Rated R, superstars.
It's rated R. Both of them are not naturally swearing right now, but I hope that one day they will naturally swear together as a couple in this movie, but probably not. And so they're just like, what is the catch? And so they're walking. They're down at the end of the pool. And they hear some music, and a bit I'm going to say that was too long. The realtor tries to deny hearing this very loud, bassy, thumping music.
She's like, what are you talking about? And they're like, that kind of wubba, wubba, wubba. And they're kind of throwing in more jokes of like what it sounds like. And the realtor's like, yeah, I don't get it. What are you talking about? And it might have been funny if maybe they did some quick cuts or something, and then him impersonating the sound and maybe her. And then the realtor going, don't get it. Nope, what? Never heard that before. Oh, bluegrass, you say. Something, anything.
Or
faster,
just like them getting like really into mimicking it. Like they're just going like fucking hard into the paint, mimicking this. Like they were just Michael Jordan dunking it, like getting their impression of it spot on to where you're like, wow, that was a solid 45 seconds. You made me watch them do that. I might have laughed.
No, dude. They try to deliver a moment that should be real kind of over the top punchy. Like they're like fucking Judge Apatow wrote the shit. And then you're just like, oh my God. And the way they hold the shot, I'm like, dude, use something. It's a comedy, right? I didn't really go crazy on the movie until I was like, what kind of comedy am I getting? Is it going to be like a gross out comedy? Is it going to be super smart? Is it going to be at least
Judge Apatow attempt at comedy?
Yeah, is it going to be witty? Is it? I didn't really get that because I black out on those movies because
you made it through on a knockoff one, so good for you.
But so I'm just waiting for it to like find its footing, right? I'm just going to be like, all right. But some of the story structure before you get too far into it, like they're not married, but they're shopping for a house. She pulls up in a Mercedes C-Class.
Fucking Hollywood.
And she's saying like
LA. No.
Dude, that's gotta be a damn near 7-figure home almost. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
It's got a massive backyard with a pool and then a guest house. You don't really get a good sense of the size of the guest house, but it has a guest house. I'm saying guest house. So it's going to be a massive leap.
The movie's called Guest House. Guess what it has? A fucking guest house.
Yeah, so that's huge money right there. And they're not even married. They're boyfriend and girlfriend. I didn't hear
even engaged.
Yeah, if they would have been like, "Oh, fiance, we're going to do it. We're going to start our family here." It's just like my dad's giving us the down payment. I was like, "What is your dad like? Rich? Are you rich?" And then I see what she's driving. I'm like, they're rich. So I instantly don't really care about this couple, right? Because they're just kind of pompous, rich, white assholes, and I don't give a fuck. So there's nothing that like, hey, man,
which is one of the main problems with the character development of this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
That's something that everyone brings up but doesn't actually properly address, which annoyed me to no fucking end. Because I was like, stop bringing it up. Stop bringing it up. If you're not going to address it, don't bring it up.
Yeah, because it's like they're aware of it.
Does not come from money. And yet everyone assumes he does. And then no one ever, he never says, that's not me. That's not how it is. Nothing. You're just like, okay, why are you... Shut up then. Don't bring this up. There's no point. If you're not going to use this angle, don't fucking build this whole thing of like he's going to have this heart-to-heart with some people and be like, I'm not a rich fucker. I'm a poor fucker. I'm batting out of my fucking weight class here with her. Like, leave me alone.
Exactly. So that's the thing. There's never no challenge in the relationship, right? It's not like...
There's plenty of challenges in the relationship.
No, I mean, like, there's really kind of not. They're just very idle, and you don't really hear of any tiffing or like a riff until later on. Her friend is just like, why do you like him? He's kind of a loser, dork, dickwad. He works at a skate shop kind of thing. Like,
right, you're getting too far ahead, though.
Again. No, dude, I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about the characters. Yeah. How the characters are fucked. Because, like, I don't care. Like, why do I care? Like, I don't care. And I know it's a comedy, so I guess it's just going to be crazy hijinks is what I'm expecting, unless they're going to start laying some big character moments on there. But I'm like, well, you're kind of already overprivileged, and what's going to be the struggle here? Your happiness? I don't really care. Like, where's the fun? Is he going to ruin your relationship? And then you kind of like, you grow from that. Is that what I'm going to see? But it's just hilarity ensues. But
yeah, you never have a reason to root for them, and you never really feel like they're
like damn it, house guests, don't destroy this great couple that I'm rooting for because they want to have a family. She has to prove to her dad that he's worth it, and he's got to prove himself to everyone that he's not some stoner punk anymore, and he's worth that woman because he mentions it later. He's like, you're better than me. You're out of my class. I don't deserve you. He says that.
Yeah, but the thing about Blake is that he's the only one that has to do anything in this movie. Like, he's the only one that has any sort of challenges, but they're not really that challenging. And he's also the only one that makes them impossible challenges for himself,
Yeah,
so
he gets in his own way, right?
Because the other things that should be a challenging or a character growth moment, he just puts that in his saddlebag and keeps on riding with it, and you never like lets go of that, and you're just like, okay,
exactly,
like, with her dad and stuff like that. But
exactly, that's the part. Like, the dad and him really have no interaction, and the thing is he gets in his own way because he's an idiot. Like
Yeah.
everything he fucks up, he does it on his own volition. Like it's his fault every time. So I'm just like, what am I doing? And Sarah, half of her, she has really no character development. She's just kind of there to go, damn it, Blake. Blake, what are you up to? Blake, can you go talk to him? Blake, can
Like,
you
go
do this?
do this. Let's meet our third. Let's meet
Mm,
our
mm.
our baby in the fucking bonnet here. It's Polly Shore. So finally, Edna, the realtor, says, "Oh, that's there's someone living in the guest house." Now, Kevin and I both know L.A. We know squatter rights and all this other stuff just due to
That's what it
partially
would be.
living here. And so if someone were showing me a house that had someone squatting in the guest house, I would not buy that home.
Why
You
would you, dude?
could not pay me any money to buy that home. But clearly someone watched Duplex, which is a horrible movie, also the same vein,
Oh, wow.
but with an old woman, you know.
I'm laughing already.
Yeah, you would not if you saw it, because it also has Ben Stiller in it, and I think Drew Barrymore. So
Taking those laughs back.
oh, hardcore. So I wouldn't buy this house, even if the real Pauly Shore, not like Pauly Shore playing a character was in it, but even if it was like really Pauly Shore,
Dude,
just
maybe
like living in the guest house, I'd be like,
maybe
oh.
if it was really Pauly Shore, I'd be like, all right, fuck it.
I
Like,
know. I'm like, what type of offers do you got on the table? Okay, don't
I'm
fucking
like,
highball me. Okay,
I'm
that's
like, Pauly,
over there.
introduce me to Bobby Lee.
He's just like, Bobby, like, he lives in the back of the guest house. I'm fucking subletting him my squatter
Boom.
house.
Let's do it. And I'd put those two guys in a buddy cop comedy like that.
That's you and everything, though.
Tell me that wouldn't work.
Yes, it would work amazingly because neither one of it's like they could both just, I don't know, their roles would be androgynous. It wouldn't even matter what they were doing. So
Nah, I just have them. They're hijinks. They're hijink cops.
I know. So yes, they go in. They just barge right into this guest house, and I believe Pauly Shore is just doing a lot of drugs. There's a lot of historical memorabilia around, and
Tons of artifacts from all over the world. There's like
Yeah.
a sex swing from Tommy Lee he got. He's a real connoisseur of collectible items and rare trinkets
yeah, so
and crazy drugs.
and so then we get like a weird jump cut where he's yelling at Edna, "You got to give me 30-day or 24-hour notice. You know this shit." She's like, "Well, maybe if you respond to my post." And they have this actually could be funny banter, except they bring up MySpace. And he's like, I'm stoned out of my ass. And she said, not so stoned to send me a dick pic. And then she insults his penis size.
That's where I felt like a heavy ad lib came in, right? Because I feel like the realtor chick, she's really kind of trying to go in on it, right? She's kind of really trying to bump up her comedy and just kind of
Yeah.
make these. She's trying to make her side
She's
punch
trying to make the
hard.
best of the shitty role she's been given.
And I felt like he was super distracted in that scene, or like he was just kind
By
of
the
wondering,
actual real drugs that he was like, oh shit, no one told me we're rolling.
or maybe like something shiny caught his eye or something. Like I couldn't tell.
Something very Pauly Shore happened to him that day. And he was just
Yeah.
like, not feeling it.
And he's kind of just like, oh man,
Maybe he was just really nervous
social-
to be back in front of the camera.
I don't know. Like he just felt kind of like half awake, and I was like, I was wanting more energy, I should say, from him. You know.
Well, I mean, he is a kind of, I don't want to say he's an old man, but he's an old man. I mean,
That's okay, dude. Like, but I need more energy because this is the first time I'm meeting your character, and your character's waka, right? And I need to see like, where's your, just punch it in. It's like, oh, Edna, what are you, just give me something, man. And then you could kind of tone it down for the like, the battle, the confrontations, or when you're trying to be sly, but just show the audience like, you just look like some like old junkie. Like,
it's kind of what Pauly Shore looks like. Unless you go to his IMDb page, and then he has this like really
really nice headshot, cleaned up.
It's very intense, and I don't know if he wants to fuck me or lick me, and it's very confusing. So, yeah, maybe, yeah.
Imagine.
His name's
Oh, I
Paul
like that. Like,
Montgomery Shore.
that's a his IMDb picture is great. It's like a
I know.
flowery shirt.
It's it's very not Pauly Shore. You're just kind of like, where's this Pauly Shore been all my
Dude, he
life?
looks like an older like Shia LaBeouf. Let's pair them up as a dad son couple.
Oh my God, please don't do
Dude,
that.
dude, what is wrong
No,
with you? I
that's
love it.
oh, that would be so painful to watch.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're like, fuck this, we're out of here. No, Edna, you're crazy. We're not buying. And she's like, I promise you he'll be gone in like 4 weeks. You know, it's just the biggest crock of shit. And they're just like, this yard. So 3 weeks later, they're moving in.
They did it, dude.
They did it. They bought the Pauly Shore house.
You know what's
Oh.
super stupid is the movers. They just take the boxes and put them on the floor, and they don't ever move it really into the house. I was like, what kind of movers are these?
I no, fucking
That caught my eye.
empty box movers, okay?
Yeah, they were like, hey, we need you to move our shit, but don't get in the house. I
You
was
know,
like,
like we don't want you to actually know how the layout is because we don't
this
want
is
you to come back and murder us later or
this is
steal
the
the shit.
this is the director's house, and you can't come in. Like he's serious as fuck.
Like, look at him. That gaze he's giving you, it's intense.
You didn't look, did you? Because you're scared. Because you should have been.
And then we get this weird unboxing montage where there's like this room comes together and it's a real shit fuck room because there's no TV and they have like the biggest, most awesomest looking couch. I'm like, what's that couch doing? There's no fucking
Yeah.
TV in this house. What are they sitting staring at? The fireplace in California they're never gonna fucking use? No. Fucking where's the TV?
That's the problem. Like the house is weird, right? You never really get to go
no
in the
TVs
house.
in this house. Yeah, you only see
About-
3 rooms and one long hallway leading to the kitchen somehow.
Yeah, like you're 90% of the movie I feel is just in the backyard, which is a great space, but they go to it a lot, I feel.
They rely on it. Like you would think this backyard was the most impressive backyard anyone had ever seen. And it's
Dude,
not.
it's a nice
Video.
backyard, dude.
It is, but it's not that nice. Like it's nice where you're like, oh, compared to my non-existent one, yeah, that's
No,
nice.
dude,
But I'm not
I
like
liked
shit.
it.
I wasn't like getting like a half chub and putting my thumb up my butt or something because I was just like,
Wow,
yeah, look
you
at
know.
those shrubs. I'm doing the shore.
I don't know.
I'm
I saw it.
amazing.
I was like, this is a good looking backyard. This is a nice house. I like the house in the front. I like the back. I like the house overall. I just think the interiors are really weird. I know you don't want to waste all your time shooting interiors because that shit sucks. So it takes a lot of time and you're
But this
moving
is
shit,
your
lighting.
dream home. Show me the fucking house, you know?
No, I will give you that. I give you that on the story side. There should have been more of a love affair with the home. It doesn't have to be like Tom Hanks and Shelley Long in the Money Pit where the house just fucks them because that's not the story. But the house I thought was going to kind of maybe be a character a little bit more, but
Yeah.
it wasn't.
And
So
and even the guest house suffers from the same problem. We're in one room of this guest house.
yeah, there's
More
no
like a guest room.
there's no it doesn't have a presence, right? There's no you can't really tell the size or kind of really what you're they're just in a room that's gimmicked with all his little weird stuff. Even the toilet just shares the wall with like a curtain.
Yeah.
So it's very gimmicky. It's a big prop set, but whatever.
And so they're moving in, they're setting up their kitchen, they got their snacks and stuff, and then someone ate the snacks. Someone ate the vegan cookies. Who the fuck eats vegan cookies? I don't know. You
man.
fuckers bought them. I mean, like, this seems like a dumb question to ask. Like, they're in your kitchen.
Well, it's kind of like either if I'm saying who ate them, I guess I'm just looking at Dick Bag beside me going, it was you, right? Because we're out of people.
We're out of people that should have access to this house.
But wait a minute, did we buy a
Why?
house with some crazy Pauly Shore in the back?
But, like, if I knew I had a crazy... Like, I saw the amount of drugs he had laid out. And if I still bought this house, the first thing I'm doing is putting in a state-of-the-art, like, security system. And at the very least, Kevin,
a Ring doorbell.
changing the fucking locks of the doors.
See, that's what I kind of thought. I was just like, you guys can lock these doors.
Yeah, I was just like, he's not entitled to entering your home. You know that.
He's squatting.
Right?
There's no lease. There's no legally binding agreement to hold him there. And if they're smart, the second he vacated, they would have changed the locks on his shit, and now he's quote unquote locked out, and now he's trespassing. You call the cops, and they may or may not whoop his ass on the way out, or maybe not.
They
not
won't.
Not with this guy.
Not in this movie.
Not in this movie, but not by this protagonist. Air quotes, because he's a huge puss.
And so they follow a trail of snacks to the pool, and there's Pauly Shore eating the chips that are on the cover, and he's just like,
they had a funny name, or it's like this is chips or something, or not like this is, and then it said like chips. I don't, something about the fake chips made me laugh, but not like it wasn't supposed to, but I was like, hey.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I mean, it was fake chips with a name like This Is Chips, but
yeah, I was like, dude, you could go do so many things. Like, this is like cereal. This is bread. This is strawberry ice cream. You could do so many things. It's limitless.
This is weird shaped pancakes, whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna start my own brand. Oh no, it says Let's. It's Let's Chips.
Let's Chips.
That's even better.
Let's apple juice.
Let's pancake.
Let's pizza.
Dude. No one take this, please.
Let's Pringles. Oh wait,
like,
that one doesn't work.
Let's Beard. It's just like a beer, white, black letters.
And the one that just says
Comic Sans font. Everything's in Comic Sans, so the internet hates it.
I mean, just most people hate it. Just fuck them.
Yeah, but they buy it because it's a great value, not because they enjoy looking at it.
And then it makes this Comic Sans, but I fucking love Let's Chips.
They eat it so fast because they hate the fucking packaging, but then they buy more.
Yeah, they have a discussion with him. They're like, Randy,
his name was Randy.
You can't be coming in and eating our food. Like, and Sarah's like, you need to talk to him and get him out. Neither of these two people that have just bought a home with a squatter in it have consulted any sort of legal counsel. Dude. They are just assuming they can just tell him, you go, get out of here, go. And
I don't know.
He'll just be like, cool, I'm gone.
Take your ass to LegalZoom, see what they say.
LegalZoom? How do I get rid of a squatter in California? It just says you're fucked. You're fucked. I'm like, oh, I don't like it.
Better get that baseball bat, catch him slipping.
Catch him slipping. You know how big is just replace the foundation of that guest house after you murder him. Put the body in there, done.
These squatters got a nasty habit of shitting around back. You wait for him, like in a bush.
He has his own toilet. Why would he just be?
He'll clog. This is LegalZoom's advice. He'll clog that one day, and he'll be too lazy and squattery to fix it.
And you don't have to fix it for him.
And then you go in
squatter.
And you Mickey Mantle his fucking skull. Jesus, LegalZoom, what the hell?
Says, can I Babe Ruth it? No, Mickey Mantle's better.
Call your own shot like Babe Ruth. That was bullshit.
When you're a foot away hitting the head, you don't need to call the shot. You need to fucking follow through. Bend your knees. Twist your hips. Go all the way through.
Hold on. Let me open this other window on LegalZoom. I've just killed a man, possibly a squatter.
Just killed a man, possibly a squatter in California.
Please help.
Let's get you out on bail.
Yeah. Thanks, LegalZoom.
So they're settling in for a nice. They're gonna christen the house. It's been a long weekend of unpacking, and
he's gonna unpack something in her.
Yeah, she called him bro, and this turns into a weird kink for him, where he's like, "I really liked it when you called me bro, not because I want to fuck a guy, but because I totally want to fuck a guy, I guess. I don't know." And he just wants her to call her bro. And I will say it was almost funny. It was almost funny because her delivery was pretty good. And she's like, "You want to fuck me, bro?" And
it was almost funny, but he didn't help the joke because he started doing the stupid monotone bullshit. That kind of like when I speak, I'm confused.
I wanted him to get like really enraged,
like
be
over.
Like, are you fucking talking to me? Yeah, I'm gonna fuck you, bro. I'm gonna fuck you so hard, bro.
Yeah,
gonna
bro.
fuck you till you're no longer my bro. And she's just like, this is getting weird. He's just like, don't break character. Come on, you gotta stay in character. And she's like, oh, okay, okay.
No, yeah, like even if he would, that'd have been so perfect. And then she'd been like, "What are you talking about?" He'd been like, "Ah, bro, we're not bros."
And then they just like chest bump, and she's just like, ow, and he's just like, oh, fucking don't say anything. I'm so close already. And
Yeah,
then
I would have took
anything.
that, dude. I would have took the chest bump. She's like, "Oh, you hurt my boobs," and he's like, "I'm sorry." And then they just turn the lights off. I don't. That's it. Like, and then we're done.
No,
But
instead they're just like, bro, bro, bro. Like even if she had thrown in a bruv,
yeah,
gonna fuck
dude.
me, bruv. And he's
Yeah.
just like, no, I'm not into the street gang, like the British street slang. Like, can we just bring it back across the pond, please? You know, like,
Anything, dude. But
yeah.
that's the problem is it's not funny. Nothing's funny. Like
No, for
it's
a comedy, I mean, Kevin says he laughed twice or got excited. I didn't laugh one goddamn time.
no, but
Like I'm trying to think. There was honestly not a single point. Like I was like, ah, cool boobs. All right, boobs. Yeah. I thought I was gonna laugh later on with the possum, but that was
it could have been funny.
probably
And
one of the
that's
most disappointing parts of the movie.
and that's kind of the overall vibe is when you start really when the movie starts showing its colors, right? Showing what you're really in for the next hour and a half, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, my protagonists, they're not funny, so I guess it's going to be up to Pauly Shore, right? So we're kind of
But Polly Shore's like 2 decades past his prime, so you're just like, oh shit, Polly.
but that was the
I
thing.
don't know why you put this whole movie on your back and expected success, but God bless you for trying, I suppose.
So, and that was the thing. I didn't want to write Pauly Shore off. I was like, man, maybe he's going to wow us. He's not going to maybe do the weasel stuff, which I mean, I really did.
Yeah, when I
So,
saw the drugs, though, I knew that was his angle, and I was like, this is gonna be a long movie.
no, yeah, but I thought like he was going to maybe have like an entourage that he can play off of. I didn't really need him to kind of go full bore. Hey, remember the good old days when I was in the
Yeah,
army? And I was like, because I never got into those movies. It wasn't funny. Like he wasn't funny by himself. I thought when like Encino Man had humorous parts that I saw accidentally once, and it's because he had somebody to play off of this, and it was just
yeah,
this other dude that he has to play off of playing the straight guy with what is his name? Adam, whatever, Biff,
something Castle or something. Are you talking about the main guy?
the Blake guy.
You just call him
Um,
Blake, man. I mean, it's just like
yeah,
I think his name's like John Castle or some shit. It's not any better.
it's
It's
Mike
like
Castle. That's
Mike
a cool.
Castle. What? See, generic, generic to generic. All right. It's
Yeah,
like
Mike Castle at least sounds like a comic book character. Um, but yeah, like there's no one for really Pauly Shore to play off because they don't really give the main guy anything. He's just kind of like the dad or in the comedies. He's always just angry and just I'm always being screwed over,
which
but every
doesn't fit his whole nice guys getting screwed demeanor
it doesn't fit
because he's also a fucking junkie, basically, like a cleaned up junkie who doesn't know if he wants to be a cleaned up junkie. We'll get there. Because yeah, like Pauly Shore, like I was happy that Pauly Shore wasn't just being like '90s Pauly Shore, but I kind of figured he wouldn't be because he's one thing Pauly Shore is not is dumb. Like he hasn't like even when he was playing an idiot, he wasn't dumb. Like he had a very successful career because he knew what the fuck he was doing,
he knew
and
what
he
he
knew
was.
when to get the fuck out of that part of it because he knew it wasn't gonna last. So
Yeah, he knew his place and he knew how to take it for everything it was worth and make it everything it was worth, right?
yeah,
So that's what I was kind of waiting for him to be. I was like, all right, either he's going to be a wacky stoner comedy, or there's going to be like an entourage of the wacky characters on the cover of the box, or just to the cast list. But you never really get that. It's just kind of these weird cameos from everybody else.
yeah, and they're very soft. Like even Pauly Shore's presence. Like there's times where he's like just completely gone for the movie and you don't even remember him. And then all of a sudden they'll just be like, we gotta get Randy out. And you're just like,
And I think that's why
who cares at this point? I don't.
yeah, no, the movie forgets about him sometimes, I feel, and
They just make him
that's
show up to be an annoyance at the worst possible times. And you're just like,
right.
of course.
So, and that's the problem when you have all these people trying to write this story, right? There's too many, like, cooks in the kitchen kind of thing. And I think tonally, the movie doesn't know what lane it wants to stay in. That's why I'm like, is this like some Judge Apatow bullshit? We're just like, we're talking about how hard and funny it is to be an adult and pooping with the fucking door open, or is this like a stoner comedy, or is this like a, a group comedy where everyone's going to be wackier than the next character, and the two your two protagonists are just like, we're in a fucking madhouse, you know what I mean? We're going to survive this. You know what? Let's fight fire with fire. Whatever, right?
Yeah. So anyway, back to them about to make love while she's yelling, "Bro, fuck me, bro," at him. And then they start to hear puking. They hear puking sounds. And there's Pauly Shore and four men. For some reason, 20 feet away from their bedroom window, just puking in the backyard. And Blake is like, oh, they're doing this I don't know, some fucking hallucinogenic
It's
thing.
like a ritual thing.
Yeah, like a spiritual ritual. Get all your bad shit out and stuff, and you're just like, okay, I get it. He's done everything, He's done it all. He's done this.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just versed in it, so you're kind of just like, is Blake going to see like Randy is future him and he doesn't want to be that, and that's going to wake him up and make him be the husband he needs to be for Sarah?
No.
Nope. No movie. Fuck you, viewer. Don't you try to call the shot.
You not what this is about. So she's like, I'm going to bed. I can't do this with that guy puking. And he's like, no, come on. No, all right.
No nookie for Blake.
Yeah, I'll talk to him tomorrow. And so Sarah goes to leave for work. We don't know what she's going to do yet, but she's leaving at some time in the morning. And there is Randy passed out in front of the driveway. So she can't drive. Like, I would have just driven over him, especially if it was Pauly Shore. Like, I would just be like, oops.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, okay, he's off the property now.
Yeah.
Go change the locks. You know what I mean? Go break the handles. And now he's trespassing.
Yeah. There's so many. I don't
know. Put him in a trash can and roll him away.
A lawyer. Yeah. Like, hire a hitman. I don't know. Have your, like, I was just like, your dad is super protective of you, but he's okay with this, like, deviant personality, the polar opposite of him living in your guest house. Like, why isn't he involved in helping you get rid of him?
And that was another thing. Like, I thought Sarah was going to tell Douglas, her dad, be like, Dad, we got the great house, but there's this weird guy. And then Billy Zane comes over, the dad, Douglas, and he's like, oh, you kind of remind me of fucking Blake, you piece of shit. And then, there's that comparison that he has to overcome.
And it would have been great, because then it would have been Billy Zane versus Pauly Shore, which fucking fantastic.
Sign me up.
And then you have Blake trying to prove he's not Pauly Shore, still kind of siding with both these men.
Right.
He wants to help Billy. Yeah, he wants to help Billy Zane, but he's still fucking partying with Pauly Shore a little bit or whatever. Right. And it would have been a very well-balanced, character developed movie with some fucking humor on both sides of like the spectrum here. But instead, it's just like, nope, Billy Zane. Yeah. Billy Zane only sits in this chair, and that's about it.
He sits a lot. He sits a lot, and he stands twice.
Yeah. He stands twice, and even that is pretty awkward. You're just like,
no, there's two.
Sit back down.
That's the super problem. It's like there's two Billy Zane scenes where I'm just like, this is what I would have done, and I could guarantee it would have got a half chuckle. Like, I can't say it would have been a fucking gut buster, but someone would have.
I just remember the one character that made me laugh, but we'll get there. There was one time I laughed because of this character, and not for the right reasons. But
never.
So Sarah comes back and just starts beating Blake in the face with a pillow. Like, these aren't love taps. This is like her wishing that was Pauly Shore's dead body she was hitting. And he's just like, why am I being hit? And you're just like, why is she going to work and he's not?
I didn't understand.
That was my first question.
You don't know what jobs they have? Because I'm like, dude, what are they?
Until they figured that out in the story.
They're driving like a Mercedes C-Class, right? And I'm like, all right. And then you're like, oh, they got this house. Oh, the dad helped. Sure, but that's still a healthy chunk. What is a dad? And then you're like, are you going to go to work? And she's like, oh, I'm a kindergarten teacher.
I'm a second grade teacher. trying to figure out how to get school supplies with zero budget. And I was like, ooh, tip of the I was like, teachers, oh, the struggle is real. Did you look at the house you just bought, you fucking second grade teacher? What the fuck? That was the stupidest line. I was like, I don't know. I guess just ask your dad for money or
I don't know.
something.
Go to Big Lots and just buy a pallet of paper in a backpack.
Yeah, I
You're
was just kind of like,
I don't give a fuck.
yeah, I was like, this is like a weird, like, real problem that these characters really wouldn't have or care about.
Yeah,
so
class struggle.
yeah, I was just like, that's a weird line.
She's not teaching LA Unified either. She's probably at some private school.
Yeah.
So
I mean, not with those numbers. I mean, she said she had like 38 students or something. I was like, that's too many. That's not allowed. That's not allowed anywhere. But whatever. The ratio's wrong. So Blake goes out and he pours hot coffee out of Pauly Shore.
But he doesn't pour it on his face, dude.
No,
you know what? You know what would have saved
like,
Blake?
What the fuck?
He should have been down and crouched down in front of Pauly's face and been like, hey, Pauly, get up. And then he should have been like, what's that, Daddy? Are you here? And he's like, yeah. Hey, fuck you. If there was the hot coffee in his face, I would have cried. Because hot coffee in the face is funny. Source Kingpin. It's funny.
Hot coffee on the butt. It's just kind of weird. Like, it's fun to talk about. Don't get me wrong.
Dude,
I got
poured it like he didn't want to get it on his face. He poured it like
he was like, let me just like lightly pour this on you like you're a delicate flower and I'm watering you for the first time.
Yeah, he was like, this isn't gimmick coffee. This is real hot coffee. Let me kind of pour it on your leg. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Pauly. I know you said you'd take one for the team, but you're wearing white pants and they're very breathable. And so Pauly jumps up. He's very confused, obviously, because you know his lower extremities are now hot and wet. And he's like, find yourself. Where are you? Like, you're in the driveway. Come on, man. You're passing out in the driveway. He takes him back to the fucking guest house. Sarah, I guess, goes to work or something.
Takes him back. Doesn't escort him off the property, Dustin. He takes him back to the property that's causing him a fucking anguish.
And this is when he's like, you got to get your shit out. Sarah's over it. You're passing out in the driveway. It's not cool, man. We just moved in. And this is where Pauly Shore goes, squatter rights, you're fucked. And the movie apparently never once looks up what those are. They never established the rules for the audience so that they knew what Blake was dealing with. Blake never goes to LegalZoom that he definitely should have visited. They did not sponsor this podcast.
Pauly's like, I got mail coming here, motherfucker. You can't get rid of me.
Yeah. He's like, look at this letter. This is from the library, okay? I got a library card off of this fucking address. You fucked, man.
But then later on, you find out something else, and you're just like, why did we even bother?
Why did we even have to go through this movie?
As the viewer, why did you even bother?
Yeah,
as the podcast listener, we apologize ahead of time.
We're not recommending this movie. Just to get that out of the way, in case you were like waiting to the end. If you're just like done, you're fine. So be it. I mean, we got a lot of ground to cover on this horrible movie, and hopefully we'll make it funny for you or something.
If you got a Pauly Shore fix that can't be quenched, you come to the right place.
You have come to the right place. If you are Pauly Shore himself, welcome. We would buy a house with you living in it. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't kill you and put you under the foundation. But I'd at least enjoy your time and company for a week before the murder happened.
Buddy cop comedy.
Yeah, we will relentlessly pitch you a buddy cop with Bobby Lee, and I'm sure you're both down with it.
And you're cops from the future, and you kind of just don't get it. But you know you got to get back to your time.
I mean, I'm honking everyone's dick to say hello, and they just don't fucking like it. They're punching me so much, and it hurts so goddamn bad. And Bobby's like, really? When I do it, they seem to like it.
What part of town you do it?
Delicate hands.
Yeah. Well, I got those little soft hands. I kind of get all of it in there, and they're like, well,
show me how you're shaking. Oh, that's way too rough.
Hilarious. You just do the demolition, man.
Ah, that's a little bit better. Try it with your mouth. Oh, there we go.
Now we're married.
That's a much better movie already. That's why I didn't want to even go down that path, because Pauly Shore and Bobby Lee as Cops for the Future, I would watch the hell out of it.
I watch it twice and go, what did I miss the first time?
Unless these assholes wrote it, then no, I would not watch
Unless
it.
the assholes you're listening to wrote it, and then I'd be like, this movie's got so many layers, man. I had to watch it like 5 times to get all the jokes.
Only not really. Because I already heard that dick suck one already. So,
and I said
so. So Pauly busts out the squatter rights, and then you're just like, oh, the tone of this, because this is a very different character. This is no longer, this is the, you have to give me the 30 or 24-hour notice, Edna Pauly Shore, that just like snaps. And you're just like, oh man, what is Blake gonna do? What is he gonna do, Kevin? Do you recall?
He's gonna bow down and just do a bunch of drugs with him, because he's like,
I gotta get high.
Adulting's hard.
And I was like, oh, so this movie's gonna be stupid as hell the whole time, huh? All right.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
This guy wants this guy out, but he's gonna party with him, like.
Yeah, and then they just talk about there's like, hey man, there's this fucking volcano drugs. We got. Flocka flame drugs we gotta try,
and then here's just a collection of idiots on the internet doing dumb things, and we're just saying it's this drug Flocka, and then his friend is the West Coast distributor of Flocka, so when it hits the West Coast first, he's gonna get it first, because and you're just like, and so they do a lot of drugs. Don't
forget about okay, so like they're like smoking weed out of this pipe, and it's like a huge wiener, and there's a lot of gay undertones of calling our main character has like this like hidden homosexuality that he's wrestling with, right? That's what this movie does this a lot. They make a lot of gay jokes towards him, and he has these moments like that. So I was like, is this a gag, or like, is he gonna be a gay character at the end? What the fuck, movie?
I mean, you knew he was not going to be a gay character.
And then the movie was like, this is what happens when a bunch of guys write a movie.
Just like, a bunch of guys have like,
it's funny
dark,
to call
deep homosexual like
desires and
desire.
Stuff. Yeah. It's like, dude, that's not funny calling a dude gay. Oh, he's gay. Look, you're doing gay stuff. You're like, what? What am I?
Yeah, but Pauly Shore in the '90s. That was a little taste of Pauly Shore in the '90s right there. Like,
because
that's how I took that. Unfortunately,
he's like, hey man, he's like, why don't you take it? And they didn't even.
I mean, I say this as a guy who just made a Pauly Shore sucking Bobby Lee's dick joke, but I would.
Yeah, real hypocrite, everyone.
I would fully watch that, everybody. Okay, with pants possibly on. I don't know. That's between me and my pants.
And I didn't get that part, but yeah, so they end up partying and stuff, and
he's like, but
all this
like,
evidence.
You gotta suck on my cock to show only my real friends will do this. I gotta weed you out from
my fake friends,
which I'm like, aren't all your friends fake? I don't fucking understand this.
It's a shallow party friends. You don't really.
And he takes pictures of them, and it's like, okay, you're telling me the guy who uses MySpace all of a sudden has a fucking fancy cell phone? Like,
hey, everyone has a fancy cell phone.
What does Randy Cockfield do for money, Kevin?
Dude,
sell drugs?
Drugs and antiquities. Like, you've seen the place.
I don't think he's moving those, but okay.
Hey, man, I'm trying to fill some blanks in here.
Yeah, so then the Flocka drug's introduced, and then something happens where Blake walks away. They yell at each other, call each other like pussies or something. It's really dumb. I don't even remember what the tiff was between lovers, but Blake leaves, and then he's got the munchies, and Sarah comes home, and he's like, yeah, he'll be gone in like a week, and she's like, are you high?
It's the drugs. He wanted him to do the drugs with him. He wanted to get the Waka Flocka Flame with him, and he was like, no, man, that's too much. That's too far. Because he's like, hey, do some coke.
Oh, yeah. He's like, don't bring that. Yeah, he's like, don't bring that in my house. And then he starts bad-mouthing Sarah. And
he's like, that's it, man. If that was me, okay, time out really quick. Because this continues in the movie. Dustin, you're married. If your wife came to you and was like, hey, man, do this, even if it's the smallest thing, you got a relationship in your head of like, if I don't do this, A, she's going to be upset with me. B, I could be letting her down. C, she's really not going to stop bothering me until I do it. And then D, I kind of want her to stop telling me to do this thing so I can do stuff I want to do, right? So there's all these like ways.
What's a path of least resistance I got
exactly. So you're going to just kind of do that. Even if you've been married for a month, a year, 20 years, you kind of know this is our relationship. This is kind of what you do as the husband, whatever.
Well, who
right?
knows? Who knows how long these two have been living with each other? I assume this is their first time.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Girlfriend, if my girlfriend told me to do that, I'd be like, God, I better just do it because she's not going to shut up about it. In the lowest form, right? So you're just going to be like, sure, babe, I'll do it. Sure, honey, whatever. I love you. I'll do it for you. Because naturally, that should be just your normal reaction is to do right by her and help her and be there for her, right?
Supportive. Yeah, that's just the basis of any relationship.
Exactly.
You know?
So if my girlfriend or my wife or whatever tells me, hey, can you go talk to this guy? I'm going to not fucking sleep until I catch him slipping or he's out. He just makes it like... I'm
not going to pour coffee on his... butthole.
No, dude, I'm gonna
escort him back to the house. You know,
I'm gonna pour a pipe across his cheeks when he's not looking. Either cheeks don't matter, and he's just. I'm gonna kick his ass. I'm gonna do something to make something happen because what the fuck? But in the comedy vein, I'm not gonna sit there because that's all the Sarah character does is just nag. She doesn't get a chance to be funny. They try to give her some stuff, and you're just
they do, and it's like she has so much potential. Like she is not bad at all. She is probably the best actress in the movie, I will say. Even with the crap she's given, dude. Like, don't get me wrong. Like with the shit she's given, she fucking turned shit to gold, okay?
Yeah,
like,
she's
I'm not saying it was good, but
No, she's showing what she's giving respect and trying her best, or basically doing what they're asking of her, right?
Yeah. So, but no, instead she's like, this is when we get the second, I'm a second grade teacher, and this is what I'm dealing with, you and your fucking skateboard job. And you're like,
this is what he does for work, everyone.
I guess he has a job. All right, okay.
Apparently he just works 4/10, so you don't have to be there 3 days of the week.
Yeah, something, I guess. Yeah, when you're doing your ridiculousness fucking thing. I don't know. And so we bid adieu to Randy for a little bit. I think we go to... Then we go to Blake's job, where we meet Steve-O doing... Steve-O things, and
he does like a pratfall through the glass door and shatters, and they're just like, oh my god, boss, are you okay? I was like, dude, is it your first day? This is Steve-O's your boss. He's going to just kind of do Steve-O things. Why are you shocked by this?
This is where we're introduced to Blake character, or Blake version 3.
Yeah, it's just a different personality.
Office worker.
Yeah, like
at a skateboard company.
Yeah, it's almost like this sports entertainment. They make monster drinks and skateboards and just like real.
And he seems to be in charge of social media and videos and stuff or something.
Yeah, he's like, really we got these impressions and off these tweets, and this video got this many likes, and Steve was kind of like, yeah, man, great. And I'm like, he's so terrified all the time. But I was like, dude, isn't this kind of like your world? You got to still be like a skater punk stoner kid and grow up and kind of still be in that while you're dressed business casual and everybody else is wearing like Tilly's shit.
Yeah,
whatever.
That was weird. Like he's wearing a tie and
no one else is. I think Steve-O wears a blazer for 2 seconds and he tosses it and he just Steve-O's out.
No, he wears that red leather jacket the entire time. I'm pretty sure he filmed all his stuff in one day and wore the same outfit.
I can see that. But here's my problem with 3.0 version is why is he so neurotic? And I know that's his character, and that's why I don't like it, because they just have this cast of stupid, thin, skinny white actors in Hollywood that all play the same fucking mumbly role. And when he does it, I'm like, is his job being threatened? Does he need to keep the job or he'll lose the house? Is there a challenge with the job? Does he need to impress Sarah's dad? Does he need to do anything to constitute him being here?
It doesn't make any sense. And then like, yes, the character Shred that Steve-O's playing.
Just call him Steve-O. It's probably less confusing.
I don't know why they didn't just call him Steve-O and be like, can we just call you Steve-O? And it's like, whatever. But Yeah, he's playing this intense character, but no one else but Blake feels that intensity. And
Yeah,
even then, the stuff that Steve-O says is actually deeply concerning. Like he's actually concerned and wants the best for Blake. And you're just like, what? What is this dynamic? This dynamic doesn't make any sense, like
yeah,
at
it's
all.
it's weird and awkward. I thought like at least the Steve-O character would be like, hey, looks like so what's give you a problem? I got like a guy living with me and then I kind of want to kick him out. Hey, do some Steve-O things. Let me give you some tips. I
Yeah,
thought
like
something
let
like
me
that
go
was
over.
gonna
He sounds
happen.
like or yeah, like I thought he was gonna go over and try to help him with the problem. Then like all of a sudden he has to deal with the boss and Pauly Shore. Like he
Yeah,
has to deal
yeah.
with Steve-O and Pauly Shore, and you're like, this is a
Pauly
nightmare.
Shore and the boss become friends, and then they start
Exactly. Yeah.
partying. I thought that's how Pauly was going to build his entourage as we start getting. But the movie was like, "What movie are you watching?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know. I'm begging for the movie
Joe,
to just
no
do
movie.
something to tell me to help
Why are
me."
we in this set? And then there's these guys standing. He's like, let's get some skateboard going. And I was like, oh man.
Yeah, and I was like, "Dude, these skaters they didn't land in shit." There's like a board gets away from one of the guys. I'm like, "Don't use that. Cut to something else. This sucks."
Well, the people that filmed it don't understand skateboarding, so they were just like, that's fine. That's what happens, right? That's real. We captured real
That's
skateboarding.
that's real. This is a movie. I want fantasy. I want
But
happiness. Like
and the weird thing is we're told that Blake like hates this job, but it seems like the coolest job in the fucking
seems
world.
like a super cool job.
And he gets paid for it.
And there's some hot blonde that's kind of on his nuts, and you're just like, wow. And then I'm just like,
Yeah.
infidelity, you fucking turd.
Yeah,
This is what you do?
she comes in, she's like, let's have a quickie in your office for old time's sake. You're not married yet. Like it just kind of
Yeah.
really established like that's the first time we realized, oh, these two aren't married. Okay. Or engaged. All right. I guess we needed this hot blonde to tell us that.
And
That's
that was the thing is like, he could be like, no, no, I love Sarah. I'm going to marry her. I don't care what her dad says. And I'd be like, yeah, dude, drive it home. Make me remind me
yeah, it's like
every
if
5 seconds.
yeah, you should have just gone full ham on the exposition at that point and said that
Yeah,
dad
I would have
line,
took it.
just like just get it all out of the way. Like you're fucking doing it. Just do it all. Get it all done.
Mhm.
Instead, they're just like, no, let's just have Steve-O come back in and be like this really caring father who's like really deeply concerned about Blake.
Dude, it could have been really funny because he could have been, she could have been like, hey, let's one more last time, bro. Huh, bro? And he could have been like, yeah, no. You know
Don't
what I
bro
mean?
me.
Like,
Don't bro me if you don't know me. Ah.
she's gonna be like, "Come on, bro, pound it," and then he's gonna be like, "Oh, that's one of my
Yeah.
that's one of my happy places."
One of my happy places, and then one of the guys skateboards by. He's like, "Bro," he's just, "Oh, it's full on now. It's raging." So,
And then he's got to wearing a Matt Riddle shirt. He's like, "Bro, king of bros."
oh, ooh, bad taste. But okay. I also want to say this is the most I've ever heard Steve-O talk, and I could do without more. I'll just say that I can
Yeah,
definitely
dude,
do.
because you watched him back in the Jackass days where he was hooked on
Oh
Nos and everything, and you're just like, "Oh, that's not healthy."
no, I never heard him talk then either.
Yeah, because
Like
he was on Nos.
this is the most I've ever heard him talk.
Well, watch more Steve-O movies, and that will cure it.
Don't think I will
Well,
at
that's
all. But so then he's back home, and I think this is the house. Is this the house party? I think.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure it's or maybe they do more cute coupley things or something. No, I'm pretty sure. We
No,
go to the
wait,
house
don't
party.
you go to her and her girlfriend? This is the part where we find out
Oh, right.
because
Yeah,
she's
does that.
unpacking stuff, and then Sarah's
Yeah, she's like,
girlfriend.
I don't know about Blake. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's back on drugs. Or doesn't she talk to her dad too, or something?
Yeah, this is a Billy Zane zine. A Billy Zane zine. He's got a zine that comes out every month about punk bands he likes from the Bay
Billy
Area.
Zane Zine.
It's just him on the front. It's just a bunch of you're like, oh, I gotta check these guys out. They got a $3 show at the wharf. So he's sitting there, and they're on Skype. No, wait. No, they don't do
No.
the Skype scene until they do the marriage thing.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do that.
So this is the girlfriends where they're sipping wine and unpacking, and then her girlfriend's just like, "Why do you like him? He's such a loser." And she's like, "I don't know." Or
and
Taylor.
her one girlfriend has an anime tattoo, and it was very distracting to me. I was just like, "What?"
Oh, she's a cosplayer, dude.
She is. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's like this 3-panel anime eye blinking thing. I was like, "Is that a hookup skateboard? Like, what is that?
yeah. I was just like, that tattoo is pretty fucking dope. Get some color on it.
Is that real manga?" Is that
Yeah.
manga? Is she a weeboo?
She was definitely a weebo. A weebelo. But yeah,
Shut up.
they're just like, she's just like, the one friend's like, oh man, like, how do you know you love them? Like, remember in college you said you weren't into women, and then like they basically allude that they had a lesbian experience. She's like, if Blake knew that, he would never stop hounding me for a threesome. And the friend, and I was like, oh, I appreciate the way this went. She was like, I'm into that, and I was like, oh yeah, fucking this is stupid. This is a male dominated fantasy. But at least you went a different way than I expected. I expected her to be like, ew, gross, that guy, But instead, she was just like, all right, yeah, let's do that, But it's all pointless.
Nothing matters.
Nothing matters. And it's weird to me that Pauly Shore's like scary drug character never shows up when Sarah's just there. It's only with Blake. It's almost like
he's a hallucination for Blake.
Well, or that like this woman this actress
future.
was actually very uncomfortable around Pauly Shore or something. I don't know. It's weird. Like I thought about it and I was like, man, they only share a scene when Blake's there, and like she could have easily gone and yelled at him too. Like,
no,
why did she?
I totally agree. Like when she was just like, "Oh, we could have a three-way," and then I thought Pauly Shore is gonna pop up at the window, be like, "Ooh, I heard three-way."
He's like, "Why wait? We could do one now."
Yeah, and then he like licks the glass or something.
And I expected the friend to be like, "Oh, this is the guy in the guest house. Like, I'm down with that," And then all of a sudden, she's over there banging him all the time or whatever.
Yeah, she doesn't do that. He's a chubby chaser. They make that joke later.
Yeah. They made that joke a lot later, like just several times.
They don't go anywhere with it. They could have had some fun with it, but I was just like, "Hey,
show chubby, full-figured women."
Yeah, no, that's fine.
What do you want from them?
I want it to go somewhere with the character because I don't know anything about Pauly Shore except for he's annoyed and he's in the guest house.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he is a chubby chaser in real life, but whatever.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Well, I'm just saying because I don't think that's the first time he's made that joke. So. But then I'm pretty sure it goes to the party after that. Oh, no. Does he propose? Oh, yeah, he does. He proposes. So he comes home, makes her a nice dinner, and they're having this great dinner, I guess, or something. He's like, is the spinachy enough for you? And then he proposes without a ring.
This dude's a total dickhead.
Yeah.
Like I don't know one female would let that shit fly.
Yeah, you're like you made a bare ass fucking.
It wasn't even that, dude.
You're wearing an ill-fitting blazer.
He
there on the patio overlooking the yard that Pauly Shore has direct access to. There's so many things wrong with this whole proposal.
I've never known anyone, especially a female, to be like, that shit is not okay. You fuck up the ring, you're fucked. You do this wrong, you're fucked. Like, and you want to do that. He proposed to her with no ring, and she came off like she was
like, don't fuck.
No. She came off like she was not loved in this relationship, and you were manipulating her feelings to make her do something she does not want to do. That's how it fucking came off to me, because I was like, dude, for you to have this gravity over her, for her to believe that and just be so appreciative you're doing this kind gesture, to have her shocked like that, I was like, what the fuck relationship is this? Is this a wrong? What is this? I fucking hate this guy. I hated him more than anything else when I saw that. I was like, dude, he was
just like, I'm doing the thing, just pretend a ring's here. I wasn't really planning on this. This is just happening. And I was like,
yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
You were just about to fuck that chick in your office like 6 hours earlier, Dude, like
I was blown away. Like,
and then of course Randy Cockfield has to show up.
He walks in, like, dude, if he walked in, he'd been like, whoa, what are you proposing? Where's the ring? And maybe he like farted or something.
Yeah, like that's what I expected. Oh, this is a proposal? I mean, not the best I've seen, but.
Or he's like, you would have seen, I got a cock ring, LOL, my name.
Yeah, exactly.
It put it in his hand or something. And he's like, dude, your dong's in my hand. Like.
He's like, yeah, you got to take it off, dude. That's how it works. It's the cock ring. Where else would I put it?
Yeah, just something like, they didn't do anything, but it's because the main guy sucks so much.
And it doesn't even make sense of why he was there. Like, he was just like, hey, I'm just here to interrupt this scene. Is this bad timing? And I was like, it was almost like Pauly Shore wasn't even supposed to be there at that time, but he was really staying in that fucking guest house. Yeah, and he was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna bust up this scene because I saw it from the outside and it fucking struggled, like the whole fucking thing." It was like, whew. I mean, I don't want to say quit Hollywood, but I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, fucking Blake.
Yeah, dude. But the problem, in all
It's gonna
honesty,
be a long shoot.
it makes Blake suck even more in my eyes as I don't care about him. It just he
Yeah, you
loses
don't root for
more
him at all.
points. You don't root for me. I disliked him, and then I super disliked him. I was like, dude, even I know you don't do this on a fucking proposal. Like, and she came off such pre-beaten wife of just emotionally distraught, and I was just like, what? Like it, oh, Sarah.
I'm
Do
not
something.
joking. She says, "Don't fuck with me."
I know, dude. I know. She
It was
is in
like,
such shock where it's just like it's not shock of like, oh my God, you're growing up and being an adult and showing me how much
yeah.
you care. It didn't
It
come
was
off
more like
that
he's
way.
bullshitted proposals before, and so she's not sure anymore, and
Yeah,
so she's
dude,
just happy with whatever. It's like, what the fuck?
fucking asshole.
Yeah, I was like, okay, and he's just like, yeah, we'll have the wedding here. We'll have it in the backyard. I'll get rid of fucking shitbag in the back,
No, you won't.
and we'll have the wedding here.
The
Just have a
movie
nice
takes
little
place
ceremony.
here, Sarah. I want you to
We're
get that.
not allowed to go anywhere else other than my office and that jail off of fucking Burbank and the I-70. Okay, that's it. And a weird hospital that's probably also in that jail off of Burbank.
Yeah.
Um, and then this is the part where it flashes forward. It's 6 weeks later. You see,
I don't understand why we needed all this time to move like this.
I don't know, and the
It could have
font
been a
they
thing
use is
like
like I'm pretty sure the font is Fiesta because and I was like, why do you keep using Fiesta? It's like 3 years later, Fiesta.
Sarah could have been
3
like,
weeks
listen,
later,
man, I need you to
Fiesta.
step up and be my partner. I need you a husband. I need something that can show me you give a shit. You need to get rid of this
You're
motherfucker.
expecting way too much because
And
she is just nagging girlfriend. That's all they wrote because that's all these men have had in their lives is just
yeah,
nagging girlfriends because they're shitty people, and so
that's
that's all they knew how
okay.
to. They
I'm waiting for that, right? And then he could have been like, you know what? No, babe, I
bonked
got rid of him. I'm the man. I stepped up and I performed. She's like, that's it. Let's get married. And then she goes to tell the dad, Billy Zane, on the Skype. Billy
Yeah,
Zane
he's
hates
like,
this.
"Honey, get in here. We're doing the Skype thing." And I was like, I believe that this is really how this was happening. Was Billy Zane didn't know what Skype was until they were like, say the word Skype. He's like, "Excuse me, what'd you just say? What did you just fucking say to me?"
The thing about Billy Zane is he hates the guy almost more than I do. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm all about
I
Billy
don't think
Zane
that's true. So,
because he's like, you should have married Kip. Why didn't you marry him? She's like, no,
I mean,
Blake's
I wanted Mary Kip.
Blake's a good guy, Dad. And so here's another scene that could have been humorous, but the movie's just like, man, what's funny? We don't
No,
know.
no, no. It was okay because then the mom shows up, and I was like, this is the character that made me laugh twice, Kevin.
Well,
I was like, whose mom is this? Like, whose real mom is this? Because this woman is not an actress. She's someone's real mom. And she was just like she doesn't even say any coherent lines. She's just excited and happy for her daughter. She's just happy as fuck. And I was just like, that's a real mom. I'm getting some real mom energy from her. I don't know what the fuck that means, but she's like someone's real mom.
yeah,
And
like
she kind of made me chuckle because she just comes in and she's just like, I don't care what anyone's saying. I'm talking over it. And they're just going to be forced to keep it because I fucked all the audio.
which is fine. But like right here, when there's kind of this mass confusion, a perfect joke would have been like the Skype freezes and then they move and
They
they're in
did
a
that
different.
again.
No, dude, no, to make it funny. Don't make it look like where your movie's fucking janky. You do it where it's repetitive, so I can go, oh man, the Skype's fucking up. We all been there, right? LOL. And they could have
Dad,
been in
hold on.
funny
You're being Skyped. No, I'm being sniped. Oh, I'm having a flashback.
anything, but the movie can't decide who gets to be funny and who doesn't. And then it's just like, how about we make no one funny?
No, that's the problem, Kevin. That's where you're wrong. The movie's trying to make everyone funny. It's just not succeeding ever at all. Ever. So then eventually, of course, Blake shows up because it's not like he's in a different house. He's probably just, I don't know, waiting to sit
It's
down with her, I
in the
guess.
West Wing.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that house did have a west wing, but and so he's just like, oh God, don't do it, don't marry him. It's just a dumb
Well, he
bad
sits down.
scene.
He's like, "Hi, Dad. Hi," and then she's like, "Oh my God!" Not like, "Honey, can I see the ring?" There's no ring. The dad could be like, "Fuck him. Fuck this."
Yeah, that's like number one thing a mom, especially like a rich upper class
Nah,
white
dude, it's
mom,
a
is gonna
woman
say,
thing. It's a
"Where's the
partner
ring?"
thing. Let me see the ring. That's inherent. It's just
Yeah,
let me see the ring. That's all the girls want to talk about.
deeply rooted in our society.
It's it. That's it.
But no one says that because I think they ad-libbed the wedding, and then just were like, "Let's just make the rest of the movie about this." So we're 6 weeks later. Pauly Shore is dressed up in like a white tux jacket or something. He snorts a line of coke.
He throws a big old party, basically.
He's having a big ass party, like a big ass party in the back. There's several chubby ladies that he's into.
There's regular ladies. It's basically just a kind of a weird.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
ends.
titties. Yeah. Oh, I think we skipped the part where he walked in and he was fucking a chick, and she was like, "Why don't you join us?" But that was really dumb and pointless too.
So. Well, yeah, it's all the times he tries to stand up to him. So you get this big party scene. There's this kind of all these like odd characters around. There's a DJ. They never really shoot from the front. They always shoot it from behind, which really kind of stood out to me as awkward.
It's very awkward.
And it's like I can't tell if they were just trying to shoot it to save. I don't know, to make the yard look bigger or to make the party look bigger, but they didn't have like too many people.
They're definitely trying to make it's like 20 people max.
Yeah. But it's weird. Like this movie
loves this backyard.
I mean,
that was the budget.
It loves the backyard, but it has a lot of shots that tries to pull off. There's like this tracking shot they do, and it's weird. Like it shows like it's really it's competent where it kind of like pans over the top of the backyard, and then
it goes behind the DJ, and you're like, what the fuck?
It goes behind the DJ, and you're like, whatever. But it's trying to like show off how elaborate the backyard is. And the backyard, I would say the backyard is more of a character than the friggin' house. And there's a shot they have on a track, and they kind of run and then they slow it all down. They do it a couple of times. Especially at the end of this scene where he confronts the Randy character, Pauly character. We've calling him all different names throughout the thing. But so you're kind of like, oh, like did someone put some time and effort into shooting this stuff? Because this is kind of these shots take time, right? So you're like, well,
okay. It seemed to me like they were like, let's just try it, whatever, you know.
I mean, I liked them. I thought it kind of like it looked like the backyard looks good. It's lit. It's shot very well, and it looks good all the time. I never was bored of that location. I'll say, at least visually.
Yeah. So inside, they're like, he's having a party. We should call the cops. Yes, you should just call the cops on him. He's like, no, I'll talk to him.
Like I've talked to him 1,000 times, and he doesn't listen.
Because I've just go there. Failed at it. And she's like, I'm going to take a sleeping pill, and I'm calling it a night. I.e., we're taking my character out of this scene, so, yeah. So he goes out. He's like, Randy, we need to talk. Randy's like, this is the guy. This is Blake. He's my friend. Everyone be nice to him. And they're like, okay, yeah, we're all about to leave. You know, even though we just saw Pauly Shore walk out for the first time in the entire
And it's the best scene in the movie. You see Bobby Lee for the first time. He's grilling up food on a shopping cart.
Yes, yeah.
Made me laugh. I chuckled. I was like, oh, here we go. Bobby's in the house.
No, I knew that was trouble. I was like, oh, man, this is how we're starting. It's all downhill from here.
I thought he was going to take over.
Until I saw him in that sex swing. And then I was like, all right, we might have got something. And then it was like, no, it take too long. And then he started the generator. And I was like, oh, we're on to something. And then it was like, this.
Right. No, it's just.
They really just play with my heartstrings, like this.
Tell me about it.
And then this other comedian, I recognize her. I couldn't tell you anything she's been in. She's like, take a shot and we'll leave. So of course he takes a shot, and they're like, take another shot. They're all chanting. He takes another shot.
They're all crowding around him. It's real peer pressure, real high school.
Yeah. And Blake breaks, and he starts
going back to old Blake.
Yeah,
smoking, drinking, fucking fighting.
So he's writing like a unicorn floaty. I don't know, just grinding it with like women behind him.
Yeah, it's a montage of him just
Yeah.
partying in all honesty, and
But a lot of people, more boobs. There's a lot of boobs in this scene, just like a
it's,
lot. Like the 90% of the boobs you will see are in this.
it's real 2005, like fucking
We
American
just
Pie,
discovered
just
boobs for the
tits
first
everywhere.
time.
You know what I mean?
How dare you? That's 1999, sir.
Excuse me, American guy, American guy,
The
American Pie,
sequel
gatekeeper.
was 2001, I believe.
Well, what about the 13th installment?
I mean, those don't count. Those are direct to release, as they say.
Direct to your heart is what I'm hearing.
I don't watch those. No,
I will not watch those.
I only watched the fucking original cast in canon. Okay.
Oh wow,
The Rookie of the Year kid until they wrote him off and then kind of somewhat brought him back in the last one. But,
oh okay.
yeah, and so this goes on until they light the gazebo on fire. And the gazebo has been brought up several times, not to anyone's cared, but I knew every time Sarah brought up the gazebo, I was like, they're gonna fuck up.
I didn't hear that word one time in the movie.
Really? No, that was like when she saw the backyard for the first time. She's like,
"Oh, you're right. You're right." She's like,
and then like when they moved in, she's like, and we could put lights on the gazebo. And I was like,
we could get married at the gazebo.
And that's what he said. He said we can have the reception in the gazebo. And I was like, well, fucking 3. That thing's on fire. That thing's on fire. I mean, not really, because they shot it out of order, so it's fine. But because I mean, otherwise the exact same gazebo shows up with like the faded chipped paint, but whatever. And so fire department's called. Randy goes out, and then here's Officer fucking, I don't know, dipshit, Officer Ford, Kevin's guy that he likes. I didn't like him. I don't like this very unbelievable cop character.
Yeah, but he's on par with everybody else's performance in the movie, of the style of comedy that they're doing, right? So he's very in tone, and like
and that's why it doesn't work for me, because these types of movies love to do that. They love to bring in these cop characters that are unbelievable, and it's like, no,
cop
like
characters that are out of
crashing in.
No,
and
man, there is no
change.
real world. There's no real world, because this movie set the rules of even the straight characters get to do the jokes. So there's no guy, like, he can't come in there be stuffy cop guy. He's gonna come in there and be just like waka cop guy. Because
on the force.
they have a funny scene because they go back to the main character's like sexuality, and he's like, well, what do you want him to do? He's like, you shut the fuck up, I hate guys like you. And then he starts talking to Randy, or Pauly Shore's character, and he's just like, man, I like you. And he's like, yeah, man, we get along. So they just instantly bond. And then he's like, well, what do you want him to do? This just joke happens twice, but I'm just gonna give it up now. And he's like, here, tell him to do this. He's like, get him in the back of the car. He's like, here, have him kiss me on the lips. He's like, yeah, kiss him on the lips. And then the main dude is like, oh, he goes to kiss him on the lips, and the cop guy pulls him back. He's like, what are you doing? Were you gonna kiss him on the lips, man? What's wrong with you? And then he's like, I don't know, man. You told me to do it. I don't really know what to do. And
he's like, this is very confusing. And I was like, that's because it's ad-libbed, and you weren't supposed to participate.
Yeah, like, that's the one I was just like, this is completely ad-libbed. But I was just like,
honestly, that part almost made me laugh. I was like, if they kiss on the lips right now, I would have fucking chuckled. I would have been, oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, that's where I thought. I was just kind of like, are these just, hey, man, let's let them go.
That's a Pauly Shore movie I want to see, right, Bobby Lee? Bobby Lee's like, I'm fucking way out on this movie now.
I am not interested. So that's, like, they do that, and I almost laughed there because I was just like, are they just ad-libbing right now? Like, and it's just... They
totally were, and it was so long and painful for me. I didn't enjoy any of that. Like, yeah, I get it. It established that Randy Cockfield is a smooth talker. He can bond with anyone and talk his way out of everything.
He's an everyman. He's
untouchable. He's fucking Teflon. That's why you're never going to get rid of him. Squatter rights. Right. The police love him.
Randy rights. What he should have called it. He should have said, these are Randy rights.
These are Randy rights.
And I would have been fine with that character.
Subsection of the squatter rights.
And I would have been fine with that character saying that. He's like, listen, man, tries to get rid of me. I never go away unless I want to. You know what I mean? Just like anything. Like, just make it more of a challenge. But they were just, The fucking Blake dude's like, I'm gonna go party with you now, and I'm like, dude, you're back to me hating you because you flip flop so much. Not even you don't even try. You just suck.
Yeah, so Officer Ford arrests Blake, not Randy, and takes him to jail. And then we meet Lou Ferrigno. And Lou Ferrigno has this probably more intense hatred for Blake than Billy Zane's character does. It's really just unwarranted. It's off-putting because you're just like, why does he hate this guy so much?
So
He keeps doing these really fucking, like, he's like, waving his finger to, like, beckoning him over, and he's just like, enjoy your fucking stay. Did you want some fucking breakfast in the morning? And you're just like, and the Blake guy's, all we've seen him do is trying to make a phone call to call Sarah. Like, that's it. He hasn't said anything. He hasn't done anything. He's just getting his balls busted at this fucking North Hollywood fucking police department.
yeah, who cares? Like this to me,
It's
it just
weird.
kind of yeah. The character's unlikable. He's unlikable no matter where he goes, right? I think they should have
Yeah,
used
but
more examples of him trying to get like food and people just throw it in his face. Like, and
yeah,
then this was
you could have done something funny, but he doesn't. That's the other problem. Blake doesn't respond to anything, and so it makes Ferrigno's hostility towards him really strange.
it didn't
Where
really
you're
come
just
off.
like,
It
why?
didn't come off hostile to me. It came off
Oh,
just
it
kind
was
of.
very hostile
It just came off kind of weird and creepy to me.
and hostile. So he's like, I'm gonna get you a really nice roommate, and I'm like,
Yeah,
this is a
I think you're giving him way too much credit, dude. I didn't get that vibe at all.
no. I mean, if you had your thing in the beginning, this is my thing that I'm pointing out. It really bothered me like a lot. So uh, this goes on, and then finally Sarah comes and bails him out, and she's just really pissed at him. He's really pissed at Randy. He's like, it's fucking on. And he goes back and he's yelling at Randy, and then Randy reveals that he was partying with them, and he's the one that actually lit the gazebo on fire. Oh, and I think there's some scene where all the girls come over to try on their dresses. Actually, I think that's what happens first, and they see all the dicks around, and they're just like, "Why are there all these dicks?"
It's after the party, and then the
Yeah.
girls try to be humorous, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah,
They just say dicks a bunch. It's not fun.
yeah. She's like, "My backyard's a bag of dicks," and what didn't work for me were the dicks because they were all so perfectly made to where it kind of
Hey man, if anybody knows the perfect dick, it's you, bro. So I'll take your word for it. Boom, boom, ba, ba.
That's true. Every time I look at it in the mirror. That's right. Give
Naked
myself a
on the
little
cup.
credit there. Fuck you, Kevin.
Everyone's like, boo.
Man, fuck you. I'll raise my self-esteem however I want, people.
Isn't that
These
right,
dicks
little
aren't
guy?
funny, okay? You're not gonna see them and laugh and be like, haha, a lot of dicks. You're gonna be like, man, someone really wanted to make sure those were the most pristine Dixie cup dicks and rock dicks they ever saw.
They were
in their
silo
life.
cups, dude. There was a party, not a Dixie cup,
Yeah,
Grandpa.
okay, fuck
No,
you.
the problem was
Would have been funnier if it was Dixie cups because I've been like, man, that's a lot of Dixie cups.
No,
Look at how tiny they are.
the problem was the way they were presented so perfectly of like, hey, don't really fuck this backyard up, but just kind of lay some
Yeah.
stuff out and be kind of fun with it.
And the
Like if
wind
they
never
would have
blew and nothing. It was just like, what the fuck? No drunk asshole setting up these dicks kicked one of the cups or anything. I don't know. Like this sod is new. Why do we have this sod? I don't know.
like it was they should have just had like weird dude hanging in the tree butt naked. She'd be like, what's that guy doing? Hey dude, the party's over, and he just falls out of the tree, and then it just shows him being taken away on an ambulance. He could have been anything like that, and I would just been like, all right, I don't need to like just wiener jokes. Like, I guess. I mean,
No, yeah. Instead, Blake shows up somehow. Actually, this isn't the time he gets bailed out by her. He's just released, I guess.
well, no, because she's calling him. She's looking for Blake. She's looking for
Yeah.
Blake, and he just appears. I thought they like maybe threw him in the drunk tank or something. So I was just like, oh, maybe they just let him, sleep it off, and now he's back on there. He just kind of appears. I assume his phone call. I don't know. Like
Yeah,
he has no
well,
other friends in the movie. He interacts with no one else, but like the wife and Randy.
So he's Yeah, he storms out. He's very angry. That's when Randy reveals, the partying and the gazebo, and Sarah's just like, "We're fucking done. It's over. This is bullshit."
Hold
And
on. Yeah, because he burns down the gazebo because they were shooting off fireworks and shit. That's the real reason why the cops got called, right?
yes, yeah,
So he's like, no, man. He's like, it was him. It was your fucking this guy. And she's like, oh, whatever. She leaves. And then he's like, that's it, motherfucker. And then they cuss at each other and he uppercuts him.
the
And
slowest motion-ish
it's cool. Okay.
fucking uppercut.
So
It's cool. Don't get me wrong, Kevin. It was the fucking best shot of the whole fucking movie. I just don't know why it was in this fucking movie. It wasn't funny. It was just a great shot. I was like, what the fuck is this? Why is this in this movie all of a sudden?
yeah, like I said, it's cool. But it doesn't kind of fit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my overall arcing problem with this movie is I don't know what it's trying to do comedy wise. Nothing really hits. The source of the comedy from the characters isn't really funny. There's another time. This is basically after he knocks out Randy. He's thrown in jail again, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got to talk about this one part real quick, though. So Randy falls. He lands, and the back of his head hits a sprinkler.
I thought he was fucking
like this
dead.
metal. Yeah, he hits a metal
I think
sprinkler.
I've seen that in another movie before, and that it killed them.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't remember what movie it was.
It would fuck him up, okay? There would be a need for an ambulance. They would not have to worry about squatter rights anymore because he's going to be in the hospital for a while.
And then he could be like, baby, I did it. I did it.
Yeah.
And then he's just taking him away. And then Bobby Lee could have ran out and been like, I'm free.
I'm free. Yeah, I'm free.
And he just dives in the pool. He's like, I got to wash it off. I got to wash it off. It could have been anything. And then he'd be like, he's like, oh, you've killed him. You've got to run. Because now you're the guest.
and they're like, what?
The Blake dude's like, no, I live here. I live here. And it was all a dream. Yeah. He got high behind a McDonald's and he never married Sarah. He never bought the house.
He's actually getting handies from fucking Pauly Shore. He's like, hey man, you okay? He's just like, just finish me.
And then he's like,
fucking
finish me. You got to wake up. You got to marry Sarah. He's like, it's a movie in a movie. That fucking sucks. He's like, no, that's Inception.
But no.
Does the top stop spitting? Does your wrist stop jerking? Ugh. There you go.
Fucking finish me.
10 years ago, topical.
But yeah, so it's my problem with it is they call so much attention to his head hitting the sprinkler.
Mm-hmm.
But then he just shows him getting arrested. Randy's just like, ow, my head. Like, that's it. He's just like, my head.
He's like, and then the cop's like, oh, we're doing this again?
So he's back. Luke Regna's giving him fucking lip again.
Yeah, no, hold on. Let's go back to the sprinkler. There's so many things. Like, the movie could have pivoted and changed. And
that's what I thought it was with that weird slow motion.
It could have been like Randy hits and he wakes up. He's like, dude, this is my house. I don't live in the little house. This is mine. And he's like, well, why were you acting like a drugged out hippie piece of shit? He's like, okay, you're hurting my feelings. You could have just said I was doing a lot of drugs. And he's like, maybe like the sprinkler knocks the drugs at him or something. Or
he's like, this is the cleanest I've ever felt in my life. That was the best detox ever.
He's like, you know what?
Do you want me to hit your head on it real quick? We could just be like clear-minded together. He's like, what? No.
Bobby,
all right, baby.
And then Bobby Lee could have came out and just stabbed him. He's like, you've captured me for years. He was like, you made me rub the lotion, dated reference, all over myself.
Also from the 90s, like you.
And he's like, now sit on that sprinkler and clean your other dirty hole. And everybody's just like, ew, oh God. And Sarah's like, no, I live here.
Oh, please don't. I don't want to see that. We're gonna have to replace these sprinklers.
And just like get crazy, but I was just kind of like, they're not gonna do it. It's just, I don't know, do something stupid.
Yeah, but instead so Sarah comes to pick him up. She's real disappointed in him, and he gets served a restraining order against Randy. He can't be within 100 feet of
Makes
him.
No sense.
So it makes no sense because if Randy ever leaves the guest house, then Blake is in violation of it. I guess
they're standing across the pool yelling at each other.
Yeah. and it's supposed to be funny because they can't really hear each other. You know, they're not that fucking far away, and they're yelling really loud.
You know what would have made that funny is a big thing that I noticed with this movie. It's like the tempo, right, and the speed and the pacing. Like, there's nothing really comedic about it. There should have been a lot of cuts with them yelling back and forth. They've been like, "What? I can't hear you." He's like, "Dude, it's just across the pool." He's like, "Get the turd out of your ear." You know what I mean? They could have been like snappy, do a long shot, like punch in. You know what I mean? Like it's just so stagnant and boring every scene. The way.
Well, yeah, because they were obviously not both standing in those locations while they were filming each other. There was just like, okay, you stand here, we'll film just your parts. You stand there. We'll
that's what they could have done. But you could have gave the editing something to make it faster. Like, we already know they hate each other. Let's just dig it in. You know, let's show everything. Just, you know, physically going faster. The energy's up. They're hating each other more. This is like we're gonna fucking crescendo. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to see. But it just still stays like flat and neutral. They're calling each other MFer, motherfuck this, motherfucker. And I'm just like, all right, dude. Like, I just like, why aren't you just fighting? Like, do anything. Who's enforcing this restraining order? You know what I mean? Is he gonna call? You know what I mean? You'd be like, yeah, he's got a bunch of drugs and weapons in his little hut there. Why don't you go check that out? Whatever. You know what I mean? He's got an Asian comedian in there locked up too. Why don't you? And you know.
Well, and so this is the part where I think does he bug bomb him first? No.
Yeah, he does.
No, when's the Molly part though? I think the Molly part comes first. No, the Molly part has to come first because they're made up for that dinner thing after the bug bombing.
Well, because he ejects the Molly into their water. Yeah. And he takes his water to work, and then Steve-O interacts with him.
Yeah, she goes on a jog. And I will say, her dancing was slightly humorous.
Was it, dude? I was like, is she running? Is she okay?
Yeah, I know that's why it was somewhat humorous, because I was like, oh, this is strange. It's also our second movie with Molly. Apparently that's a big Hollywood drug. Like the Francos and the Shores, they all love their Molly.
Kids love it, I guess.
Yeah. So if anyone has some
Molly, kids a lot, not knowing what they're doing, so I assume it's all these just cool like things.
Their parents. But yeah, so he's at work on Molly. He's sweating up a storm. The hot blonde comes in. And she's like,
the hot blonde comes in and he's staring at like a naked poster of Steve-O with all this shred graffiti graphics.
Yeah, you're right.
And he's like close to it and he's slowly touching it. And I was like, what the fuck, movie? Make the joke, have him come out, do something. Maybe he's down with the pole and the hole. I don't know. Fucking stop making this joke. It's annoying.
Yeah, that one was glaringly obvious because we had also had him trying to kiss Pauly Shore thing. And you're like, okay.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, so the blonde comes in. He's like, yeah, let's do this. Meanwhile, Sarah has gone home.
She's like, hey, man, are you okay? Are you on Molly right now? And he's like, yeah, I don't know. Let's fuck. And it's on him. He does it.
Yeah, no. Well, first they just start making out. She's like, sure, you don't. She's like, you don't look so good. And then they start. And then Sarah's at home. She gets a package delivery, and it's Chris Kattan. And she's like, yeah, you got a package to deliver to me. And so she pulls him in, and he's like, is this happening? Is this happening? Yay! And he just Chris Kattans. And you're like, oh, this is great. And then it cuts back to him, and he's just like, I love this fabric. And she's like, dude, are you on Molly? And he's just like, oh my God, you have to go. I'm drugged. And Steve-O, sees this, and he's like, he just shakes his head. Yeah, he's concerned with him. And then so he calls Sarah, and he's like, Sarah, he drugged us.
Don't drink the water.
Yeah,
it's
don't drink water.
Don't drink bottled water.
Yeah, and then so she's just been like, and this is after we
No,
watched her
dude, I
like,
can't believe you missed the funniest part. Chris Kattan and her on the floor like grinding, and he's like, "I can't believe it's happening, it's happening," and she keeps doing it, and then
yeah, she's grinding him.
there's these weird positions they're kind of in really quick, and he's like, "Okay, please stop. I gotta go back to work. I gotta deliver the packages."
Yeah.
He's like,
Well, at first he's like, what am I? He's like, I don't know what to do.
he's like, "Am I
He's like,
doing
is
it? We're
this?
doing it." Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's that's how you're funny, right? That's how you be funny.
He was actually funny. Now that I recall that, I did laugh at Chris Kattan.
That was one of the times I laughed.
Even though they went on too long, and then so then she kicks him out. He's like, no, no, and he just leaves, and you're just like, Chris Kattan.
Yeah, man. He showed up for a cup of coffee, did his work, left, and he helped some people out. He did some favors.
So, and then she's just sitting there. She's watching bugs fuck or something, or maybe that was before. I don't know.
That was before, and she's like rubbing the pillow on her crotch, kind of.
Yeah, to be a metaphorical, her rubbing her bean out.
Yes, everyone got it, dude.
Hey, man, I just wanted to say,
need you to hold her hand
let
on
me
that
say
one.
it. All right, so fuck you, okay? So then Blake comes home. They fuck. We don't see anything. They just see them embrace and kiss and go into the bedroom, I guess, or something. I don't know. The layout of this house isn't open to us, so. And so, they're a little bit happier. He goes into work. He gets fired by Steve-O.
Because Steve-O's the most sensible character in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, he does not like what Blake's doing. He's like, you have a woman. You can't be fucking making out with other women in the office.
I mean, basically, that's an HR nightmare. You're coming to work high and you're trying to sexually assault other people. I mean,
weird because it's like it's a skateboard office and he skateboarded through a window. I don't know.
We still have HR rules, okay? He chose to do that to himself.
Pretty sure Blake was HR as well, so
he did that to himself. He did not do that to others, okay? Get it right. You'd be awful in this place too. You'd be fired day 2.
I mean, probably just because I don't fit in with that culture at all. Like,
yeah, they'd be like,
if we get like 50% less skateboards, I mean, it's just kind of fucking those wheels on this pavement. It's real annoying.
Fuck you, poser.
Fuck you, poser, old man. Hey, fuck you dumb kid.
Eat a dick, Grandpa.
Hey, respect your elders. I'll eat all the dicks I want. I'm not in the closet like Blake. I know what I do and I don't, I guess. I don't know. That came off weird. Anyway.
Hire my friend.
I'll think about it. How many hits has he got on the social media? You know what? We should just do lunch. You want to do lunch? Yeah, all right, let's do lunch. Right,
we're done with this yelling gag. Keep going.
So Blake gets fired. He blames Randy. So she's like, just calm down, calm down. We had killer sex last night, I suppose. Don't get it twisted. And so he's just like, no, this is perfect. No job means plenty of time. So then he gets a pest control company to...
I would like to say another thing about my friend Blake here. He only cares about taking care of the task now that it affects him and it has changed his life. Not his wife's, not his soon-to-be wife's, his fiance, not his significant, not his partner. Only when it affects him, making him very selfish and a piece of shit character. Well, I stand by it.
Yeah, because every time he actually went to deal with Randy, he just partied with Randy. It was too much for him to deal with, so he was like,
it's too much. It's just he didn't want to deal with it, right?
Yeah.
Because he's a bitch.
And so he convinces a pest control company to
fumigate a fucking person.
Fumigate, like to fully tent it and not check to see if there's anyone in there and pump a bunch of poison in it. And so Pauly Shore comes out looking like he's dying. He's foaming at the mouth. He's swearing. He's drinking pool water, which I was like,
well, he had to clean his mouth out. I'd eat pool water over the bug spray in my mouth.
But I'm just like, Pauly Shore.
And he's like, I poo-pooed my pants.
Yeah. And then he gets a chubby. And Blake's like, just let it happen. Just enjoy the ride. It was I don't know. It was a weird scene where you feel like Blake was kind of really interested in what was happening in his pants. And it's just, I don't know. It's unsettling, I guess, at some point of like just how in the closet these writers were or something. But so Pauly Shore leaves. He fucking leaves, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
The squatter has left. He has
Yeah.
left. Your plan to drug him with deadly poisonous drugs, to which any degree or
There's no way that would have happened, but yeah.
yeah, there's no way the company would have done it. But if they did, there's no way Pauly Shore is not dead. So this is twice Pauly Shore should be dead. Apparently, he is
Unkillable.
Casper. He's Casper. He's haunting this fucking house.
Casper's dead. So
He's
that's
Richie Rich, and now he's Casper. Okay, or he was Richie Rich. Now he's Casper. So he leaves, and Blake is like, "Okay, I'm gonna suit up. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna clear out all his shit." And I don't know what happens after that scene, because that doesn't happen. And then they're just like, "Okay, we got the dinner, and we're having the wedding party dinner."
It's over, man. He got him.
Yeah, I guess. But we don't see the shit cleared out. We don't see him do anything.
Well, you missed my other scene where I wanted to laugh is before they do that. Pauly goes, you missed the part where he cuts the power. And Pauly Shore's he tries to chase him out by cutting the power. And he's like, you got to wake up pretty early. Get that over on me there, Blakey Boo. And he starts the generator and he goes back in. And Bobby Lee's sitting in the sex swing naked. And he's like, hey, man. And he's like, hey.
He's like, I think about leaving.
Can I put my clothes back on? He's like, what? No. Why? And he's like, I don't know, man. Can I he's like, just keep reading. And he's like reading like the Dead Sea Scrolls or some
this
shit.
This is in Latin. I don't know Latin.
He's like, it's Latin.
Yeah.
And
I
he's
wanted to laugh more. Again, this is the part that like pulled at my toyed with my heartstrings. It brought me up, brought me down.
Bobby Lee's super intimidated by him. Like he's just like he really just want, but he kept just saying, "Hey man, I just want to go home." Like, and it's kind of sad because you're just like, "Hey man, just let him go, dude." Like
it's almost like Bobby Lee really wanted to leave that day, and Pauly Shore was like, "No, come on, man, do one more scene with me. Come on, man, a little bit more of the movie."
Yeah,
and he was like, "I don't really care."
It was building up right there, and I thought something was really gonna just pop off, super funny.
Instead, it was just Bobby Lee naked starting a generator.
And then he was like, go start the generator. He's like, oh, man. And he's like having problems with it. And he just falls down on his naked butt. And you don't really see anything. And he just kind of I was like, oh, is something funny going to happen, Bobby?
Yeah, I think that's what led to the Molly scene, actually. You're right. I did forget about that part.
Yeah.
But so now it's the wedding party dinner. They have everyone there. For some reason, Sarah's ex...
I don't get it. I don't get why he would be there.
Wedding party. Yeah, I don't know why you would have him be one of your best men.
See, because what I would have done, Dustin, I would have had the Billy Zane guy go, listen, Kip, you're my ringer. You're my ace. And he's like, I love you, man. You got wide shoulders. You're ripped. What do you like?
And where were the parents? They're technically part of the wedding party. So
it doesn't matter. Hold on. I would do I'd get Kip gassed up, right? I'd have the dad gas up Kip, and Kip's like, yeah, you know what? I love Sarah. I don't know why she got rid of me and chose that dork. And then have him go over there and then be like, hey, Sarah, I'm here to beat his ass for your heart and attention because that's all I know. And she's like, no, man, I got rid of you because you're a prick and you're mean. And you don't blah, blah, blah. And he can be like, oh. And then Randy could have been like, hey, man, another one into the breach. You know what I mean? And then he's growing a posse. He's got Bobby Lee. He's got Kip. He just starts a gang. And then you're like, oh, Blake can't win. And then Blake is actually wins over the gang, or something happens where he defeats them. Just give me something. Don't give me what you gave me, because what you gave me sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like that posse idea, but I see what you're saying with it, because Bobby Lee plus Kip would be a weird posse. It was like, what? No.
That's the thing.
He did kind of already have a posse, as we'll see later on, Kevin, in the movie. But so they're doing this awkward dinner and speeches, and then Pauly Shore shows up dressed like a shrub, and
he's stealth. He's like fucking Sam Fisher. He's in the bushes and shit, watching him.
He's got binoculars, even though he's like 20 feet away, and I don't know why anyone couldn't see. Like, wasn't like, why is that guy standing over there? But whatever. They're all up in their own asses or whatever. The guy who looks really unimpressed about being in a movie was there too. And then Pauly Shore releases a possum that he's gotten high on flakka, the drug that they mentioned once before. And this possum runs over, and it's a puppet, and it just jumps on the end of the table and just scares everyone for a while.
For a long while. I
For a
thought,
very long while,
like,
where you're just like, why is everyone still sitting?
yeah,
I
and
don't
they're
know.
all just screaming and yelling, and then the possum shoots across the table and knocks some
Yeah,
candles over.
starts a
Table
huge
gets on
fire.
fire. Everyone backs up towards the house, and then the possum's just kind of running
They
amok.
can't
It
get
starts.
in some. I mean, Polly Shore could basically just like look at a door and have it pop open, but
No,
they
no,
can't get
like
in a door.
they're blocking. Yeah, they can't get in the door. I don't know why, but then the
I
possum
don't.
starts chewing on one guy,
It
and
bites Kip's arm and then it chews on this other guy's neck,
I
who
wanted to
was also
laugh because
friends with Kip.
I was like, okay, and I thought it was really gonna get like crazy. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
wanted,
it's
I
so.
thought a dude was gonna run by on fire from the table. Somebody flips into the pool. You always gotta have somebody go into the pool. What the fuck? And
No
then
one goes. No one was allowed in this pool.
yeah, they do like a
No
pool
one
trick later
swam in the
on,
pool.
and like that's it. And I
Yeah,
was like, nobody flies into the pool. Like the possum could have been. I thought all hell was gonna break loose, right?
yeah. No one floats in the pool, guys. It's a pool prominently featured in the backyard. No one's floating in it.
They do another thing in the pool later.
Yeah, but it's so.
Um,
But yeah, so this possum's is like biting everyone, and you're just like this. And what pissed me off though was Blake goes, "Flocka possum," and I was like, why would he know specifically the drug that Pauly Shore is secretly given this possum?
well, I know. Well, Pauly Shore finds the possum earlier in the movie, and he's like,
Yeah,
"Hey,
and
look at
that
this
was stupid
cat."
too.
Yeah, it was kind of stupid. But then it's like, yeah, he knows
Because he starts calling for Blake, and he never finds Blake, and Sarah's the only one in the house, and he doesn't interact with Sarah,
right because
even
he's
though
not
he's
allowed to.
calling for Blake. Yeah, he's not
He's not
allowed to in
allowed
this
to.
movie.
He because remember he's you said like when he was watching the videos, he already knows what Flocka does. So he's
Does
like,
to a
oh
human. Why
no,
would he know what it does to a possum?
because he's a drug connoisseur, bro. He knows. He knows how the Flocka goes through the possum veins and
He's like,
like.
that's too crazy. I know a fucking flock of possum when I see one.
Hmm.
This is a bunch of flock of shit, if you ask me, but whatever. So now they're at this weird
It's like a warehouse.
hospital.
It's like a warehouse
Yeah,
veterinarian clinic. Like it's almost like a dock for a shipping.
yeah, it's not a hospital, but it's being billed as a hospital. And this man that's supposed to be a doctor, a medical professional, everyone says the F word like 9 times in his 2 lines of dialogue he's allowed to have. He makes some jokes about, oh, you should probably be okay with the rabies shots. What the fuck are you guys doing? What the fuck was that thing? The cops there randomly again. He's just like, what happened? He's like, oh, nothing at all. We don't know what it was. We don't know who did it or what happened.
They're smartening up now, right? They're like, ooh, we don't play this game. We don't turn to the authorities. We take this in our own hands. He's got a Waka Flocka flame possum. This means revenge.
Yeah. And so, and then they're just like, that guy's gonna die. They write off the friend, and yeah, and then
another scene where it could have been funny. Like you have this humorous moment, but we're trying to get comedy from Sarah, and it's kind of and we're kind of getting that stupid fucking comedy from Blake, that fucking monotone comedy, and then you try to bring the cop in to punch it up, and then it misses, and then the doctor's just out of control, and then the guy's just sitting there on the bed. He's like given nothing to do. He could have been like, guys,
yeah, he's just like
who's gonna die? Like or something.
Yeah, he's like not allowed to talk. He's just like zoning out. Yeah, he could have been like, who's gonna die? Or be like, hey guys, I'm not feeling my feet anymore.
Yeah, anything.
You know, he could have said literally anything he said could have been a joke. No matter how dumb it was, it could have helped that scene tremendously.
Like, should we tell everybody else that the rabies shot might not be enough and they could die? And then she's like, no, fuck it. And everyone's like, oh, fuck it.
No, fuck it. YOLO, motherfuckers.
And then I'm like, why is Sarah? She doesn't get to do that. She doesn't get to. Someone has to be the fucking rational one. Someone has to be the straight man. Someone has to keep this shit going. They could be the crazy characters.
Yeah. And I'm trying to remember what happens after this, because there's something else that happens right before the wedding. Or does there? Or does
I think that was the finale, dude, of their back and forth. Because now the ball's in which is weird because now the Randy, Pauly Shore's character, he doubles up, and like
he definitely doubles up. So yeah, they're getting married. It's the worst wedding ever because yeah, obviously Billy Zane's there. He doesn't want to give away his daughter. He's like, I will give you $100,000 to walk away right now.
I would
And
say.
she's like, Dad, we talked about this, you know. And then they have this priest where they both look like they did not hire this priest. And I thought this was going to be a Pauly Shore thing where they're not really married because Pauly Shore replaced the priest with this guy.
Oh, that'd have been okay. I gotcha.
That's where I thought it was going to go because the priest is just like,
It's another friend, character actor guy.
yeah, he's just like, dude, like, are you sure you want to get married? Being married sucks. Like, walk away. Don't do it. Like, he keeps telling them both, like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
He says their names wrong. He's just like, yeah, whatever. You could tell that Billy Zane's character is waiting for that moment where he gets to object, but because you have this fuck around priest, he doesn't get that moment. And so it was very weird that they kept showing Billy Zane sitting there just very uncomfortably, like angrily with hemorrhoids,
Well,
waiting to yell and never
that
getting to.
that goes back to my angle you don't like is I think Billy Zane needed a dog in the fight, which would be Kip,
Yeah.
because that's all he ever talked about, and he hates dude. And then he could have.
I just don't know what you would do with that angle. Like what?
Well,
What would you
he could
do
kick
with
Kip's
Kip?
ass
Kip's
or
there.
something, or do something that's so Blake.
Lou Ferrigno Jr. is not getting his ass kicked by that guy. Okay.
He's a fucking body guy. He doesn't know how to fucking fight. Those people fucking exist. He's got show muscles. He doesn't know what to fucking do.
I mean,
you could have had something Blakey happen. Maybe he learned a skateboarding trick from fucking Steve-O. Something that's character evolved and grew from to beat Kip, to prove to the dad that he's the man. You know what I mean? And to throw Randy to the curb, stand up to Steve-O, get some anime pussy from that one girl, whatever, dude.
He's like, I'm doing all of it.
Yeah, because I think you're a story. And then Sarah looks at him. She's like, you're finally a fucking man and not a goddamn doormat. He's like, that's right, baby. I'm going to start talking like I got balls. And everybody's like, yay. And then Randy's like,
all these women. I don't care if it's their wedding day.
And Randy's like,
that's
you know
too
what?
far.
That's why I was here, man, to make you a man. He's like, no, you didn't. Fuck you. And he kicks his ass. And he's like, I'm king of the world. He's like, no, man, you got arrested for beating all these people up.
You got arrested. Also, Billy Zane doesn't like that line. He was the bad guy in Titanic, so don't say that shit around him, okay? No Titanic lines around Billy Zane.
After the stupid marriage thing where the priest tries to get himself over with all of his jokes and everybody just lets him, they let him get all the jokes out.
No one says anything. They just,
because then Blake,
this is Sarah's wedding.
But
and
Sarah
much like
is
the
not
proposal,
a traditional...
she has such a low fucking bar that you're just like, no, you didn't. Listen, lady, you didn't go get that fucking killer wedding dress. And I'll say it was a beautiful wedding dress. You didn't go get that fucking wedding dress, make all your bridesmaids wear halfway decent bullshit pink dresses that they could actually not be grossed out by wearing out in public. Okay, and then fucking...
You're a bridezilla.
Shut up. And then let this fucking priest shit on your wedding.
That's
vows.
What I said.
No, you would cry and run away and be like, we can't do this.
No, she
fucking wedding.
Well, her character probably would have, but most would have been like, hey, motherfucker, this is my special day. This asshole proposed to me with a ring. That would not have happened. She would have took his balls if that happened. And
I mean, even his friend, the one that didn't look like he wanted to be in the movie, didn't want to hand the pillow. I actually laughed when he tried to hand the pillow to the other guy and the other guy wouldn't take it. So he just threw it on the floor. I was just like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's the most distracting thing in this scene, but that's fine. That's perfectly fine. It's going with the rest of it horribly.
I don't know. Yeah.
And so now they're married, I guess, by this priest that I still thought was hired by Randy, but I don't know. Maybe that didn't make it into the cut.
It was just a friend hire in the real life that was trying to do some action.
It was again another real world role that was brought in and just shit on. So
what I wanted to happen here is after everyone's mingling at the party before they do like the dinner or whatever, like Billy Zane comes up to the dude. He's like, so you're married my daughter, and he wanted to say a few words personally to him, but they make some stupid anal joke, and he doesn't stick up for his wife again, and he doesn't do anything because he's a piece of shit, Blake.
And Billy Jane has are they make fun of
Billy Jane?
Billy Zane. I was a tongue twister, okay? You said Zine earlier, so don't give me shit.
Yeah, I didn't
fucking ride your ass on that. Okay?
I got the fucking right. You called him something completely different.
Shut up. I was focused on the PTSD part and not fucking that part up. So anyway, they make fun of his PTSD.
So. Yeah, so there's a part. Yeah, that's the part I wanted to bring up. So he's like, don't sneak up on me. They never say it in the movie, but this old lady backs into him, and he's like, Jesus, he snuck up against me, Florence.
The
And
problem with that is that
God damn it, hold on. So I wanted him to just back chop this bitch, just to chop her in the throat and then roundhouse her. And then he could have been like, see, Blake, I probably killed her, and I'm going to kill you if you don't treat my fucking little girl right. I saw you didn't give her a fucking ring, you fucking bitch. What was up with that? And then he just like,
oh, he had one at the wedding.
No, I know, but he's like, I know you proposed to my little girl without a ring, you fucking turd. And then something.
Yeah.
And then Steve-O could have poked his head over the fence. Was like, that's because I fired him.
Steve-O couldn't show up. Well, like, and why would she marry him when he has no job prospects at that point? You know, it doesn't matter. No, the real problem with that scene, Kevin, is that he just said no one sneaks up on me, and then he does that jump scare, and I was like, that was so dumb. Like, that was really dumb. And then he ad-libs some compliment. He's like, no, she's a great lady. I've known her for, and then he just trails off because he didn't have anywhere to go with it.
And then he didn't say anything to him.
Yeah. No, he doesn't say anything. And then you see Bobby Lee giving fucking the worst looking hors d'oeuvres to anyone at a party, and everyone's like, just shoveling them in their mouths.
They're like potato skins. Those look good.
No, those
the other girl was
the problem.
They're handing out food to everyone. That's the waiters and stuff.
And then it's time
for Stubby, your favorite fucking scene here.
It's my favorite scene. Billy Zane's doing the speech, and he's gushing about his wife instead of doing any sort of speech about his daughter and new son-in-law. And then the wife starts like sucking his thumb, and I felt like this was real Billy Zane, where he was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" and she's like, "I gotta suck his dick."
Yeah, and everyone's just kind of sitting there, and
I was like, "Whose mom is this? She's great. She's killing it." And like, she has such a weird energy, and I was like, "I fucking love this lady." Yeah. So
that scene bothered me. Like that could have been funnier.
It's horrible, but
it's horrible because the daughter no sells it. The daughter's just like, she's not like, "Oh my god, mom."
Woman, yeah, I would have been like, Mom, what are you doing? Don't ruin. Like, this is already like the third time her special day has been ruined.
This chick's gonna kill herself because she's gonna look back at her wedding and be like, "What the fuck did I do? Why did I?" Or she has no fucking, just no balls.
I feel like the director had no direction for her and didn't want her to react because they didn't want her to steal the scene from Billy Zane and the mom yelling, "I'm gonna suck his dick."
But dude, like she didn't even have to like make a big scene. She could have just been like, "Oh my god," or said, reacted instead of going, "Everyone's acting really strange." I was like, "Oh my god."
And then his friend's like, "Yeah, it looks like everyone's on Molly." His friend that doesn't want to be in the movie, by the way.
Yeah, and then everyone's just like, "Oh my god, that's such a Randy move."
Yeah. And so then they all start
tripping balls, and then we got another montage.
Tripping fucking balls. They're just going crazy. It's like The Crossed, Kevin. Like they just lose.
No one knows what that is, dude. It's like the movie The Crazy,
asshole. But okay, fine. I don't know what that movie is, but okay.
It's pretty much The Cross, but like PG-13 version.
Okay, well, they lose all their restraints on humanity, and they're just doing whatever. There's women clawing at Kip very horribly. They keep going to it, and it's clear that they were not sanctioned to do anything because they're just like lightly slapping their fingers.
This isn't a fucking fight to the death.
Well, I mean, to go any further, it's like you have like 9 women jumping this guy, and all they're doing is just like playfully.
He's a body guy, right? So they're trying to. They pull his clothes off, like he's such a stud muffin, and they see he's all ripped, and they're just like, "Ooh la la!" And then, of course, the movie's just like, "Hey man, we're rated R. Here comes some titties," and they're like, "All right."
There's a lot of titties, yeah.
And then finally, the pool gets used. I don't know what Dustin missed. This guy, they take like a dirt bike or whatever it was.
Where'd they get that dirt bike from? But his hair made me laugh instantly. And it's Cousin Jimmy.
Cousin Jimmy?
That's what he yells. He goes, "No, Cousin Jimmy." And I was like, what?
I really wish the movie was about Cousin Jimmy. Because
dude, when I saw Cousin Jimmy and found out his name, I was like, this is 100% the movie I want to see. Cousin Jimmy. coming to fucking
Coming to my
Toluca Lake
town.
for a wedding, and he's just like, man, fucking Hollywood's weird, man. Everyone's fucking spiking me with Molly all the time. Like, yeah, that was
Yeah, he was a character. He looked like a character for sure.
So
Yeah,
he just
like
takes like a piece of wood. They get him on a dirt bike, and
he looked like
fucking
he belonged in a band called Crazy Town. Everyone, if you've ever seen the Crazy Town, just Google that real quick. You'd be like, yeah, okay, I
I
get
don't
it.
know about that, but so and then he wakeboards across the pool. He jumps. He lands awkwardly.
No, he lands hard, like on
Yeah,
his
hard and
shoulders.
awkward. Yeah, and he's clearly fucked up. And
But
that's
then he
when
gives me a
that's when
thumbs up,
Blake-
so I know he's okay.
yeah, that's great. Blake's like, no, our cousin Jimmy. Just,
I didn't hear
then,
that part, but I'll take it.
yeah, and then he sees that he sees Benny. He sees the woman who's never given a name and gets him drunk, and he knows that Randy is behind it.
Yep.
And they're like, fucking, I know Randy's in here somewhere. And they go into the house for like 2 seconds, and then Randy, of course, just falls perfectly through the roof. He was in the attic above them, and he falls down perfectly where they are because he was just up doing his little fucking Pauly Shore dance. And just like,
You know what would have been funny, dude? If he fell through the ceiling, because you said he fell through the roof, and I was like, what? What the
sorry,
fuck?
the ceiling of
like,
the attic.
Yeah. If he would have fell and like died,
Through the ceiling.
if he would have fell and died, and they'd be like, no, Randy, get up. And they'd be like, honey, I think he's dead. No, fuck that. He's always fucking around.
Yeah.
And then they just put him in a fucking hearse. And he's like, you know what? Randy always does this. I would have laughed a bunch. Because it would have been so awkward and weird that he just died with no resolution.
I mean, that would have been fantastic. And then you find out that it's just like he had a tumor from the fucking sprinkler or something.
No,
and he was just like really fighting for his last few days on Earth.
Yeah, just have him fall in slow motion, and he hit his head again in that same sprinkler spot, and it killed him.
And then the sprinkler turns on outside, and you're just like, oh shit. Is that to simulate blood? I don't know. This movie's rated R. Just do the blood. I don't know.
And they just then they're at Randy's funeral in the same wedding clothes the same day.
Like same day burial. It's like that's what his will said to do.
And
So
then
don't
like
fucking wait.
Bobby Lee's like taking the rings off of him and the gold out of his mouth and shit.
He wanted a pirate's funeral.
But he's still
I didn't
naked.
know what that
Bobby Lee
meant,
has
but
to be
it's good.
naked in this scene, like he's trying to start the generator.
Yeah.
And then so that's my wedding, everyone. Everyone have a good night, and everyone just leaves, and then credits, and then they walk home slowly. She's like, "Man, that was a long day." That's it.
She's
Hey,
like,
man.
I'm gonna be honest. I wish we had more photos.
Yeah. I would have laughed at that, and then been like, "You think that was a cool burial? Just leaving him in the ditch like that?" You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't even a burial; they just threw him in the fucking LA River.
Did you cave in his face and chop off his hands like I told you to? I mean,
No.
yeah, duh. I'm not a fucking rookie.
No,
Yeah, we should be fine. We should be fine.
Yeah,
No identifiable features.
Yeah, he
So,
sucked, huh? He was.
Yeah.
he
No,
was
that
a-
would have been a great movie if it just ended that way. But that's
I would have been shocked. I would have been
Nah.
like, "Wow, movie, you got some. You're bold. You're like, I hated you to the very last 5 minutes."
yeah. But instead, Blake just starts punching and beating on Randy, and then they're both arrested. And they're in the same
Same
jail
scene,
cell.
pretty much.
And they're talking. Randy's still trying to be his friend. He just keeps trying to tell him that he's just shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And then she comes and she bails him out. She's like, I just wanted to bail you out, but it's over. I'm going with my parents. And then she's like, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, how did you? When did that? When
no
did you
sense of
find this
time.
out?
No sense of
Yeah.
time in this movie.
But I'm like, you
Was
just
it a
decided
shotgun
to
wedding?
be on a stick on your wedding day. You were just like, feel a little bloated in this beautiful dress. Like, let me
Yeah.
just like,
No, you really love
So,
this dress.
it was
I
a
gotta-
beautiful fucking dress.
okay,
The
dude. I gotta
best
take
thing they
another
did.
look at it. I mean, she's a very attractive woman.
She
She's
is,
a
and she
model.
Killed it in that dress. Too.
Model, actress, dancer. She's got one of the triple threats they're so known for. So
I saw her dance. I don't know about that one, but yeah.
Dude,
And then Randy's like, "Oh, you got my bail." She's like, "No, fuck no." And then like she's breaking up with him, and the cop is like 30 inches away from them.
Yeah.
He's just staring. He's like, oh, that's not good. And I was like, dude, this is actually like a pivotal scene. Back the fuck up and stop trying to be funny. Like, you are
fucking please.
Literally killing the final fucking act of this movie. Okay? Because if you don't back the fuck up, I don't give a fuck about anything else. You have shown me there's no reason to care about anything.
Wait, hold on, dude. Now you don't give a fuck.
Well, no, I already didn't give a fuck, but this was like your last chance. Okay, like you can be stupid as fuck the entire rest of the movie, but still like have a third act where you're like you give a fuck, like you show up and you care, and I'm like, all right, fine.
I agree.
I guess that's it's like I'm not saying that's a good movie, but like I've seen plenty of movies do that. I think The Wrong Missy did that. It was like stupid jokes. Okay, I'm gonna make you care like right here. Yeah. Instead, this one's just like, yeah, we're gonna leave this annoying cop character.
Right. There's a time and a place. If you're trying to grow our characters, you're trying to give them some resolution. They're trying to learn. They're trying to be something more. Give that time to breathe. Right. You want to give that some space. We got another 60 minutes for jokes nonstop if you want, but let's try to mold about 20 minutes of character development. Yeah, I know it's a comedy.
Yeah,
dude, this makes the other Missy look like fucking Schindler's List or some shit.
Like thinking back about that movie, I'm just like, man, that movie wasn't that bad, but fuck. I mean, it was, but like compared to The Guest House, oh Jesus, like it should be up for at least an Emmy. I mean, I don't know how that works, but
at least the girls in Desperados or Desperitos or whatever the fuck it was, at least the main girl in that kind of learned something.
Exactly, she had character growth and development.
Yeah, you don't have to fucking
I get it, that's not everyone's style of comedy, but that's what makes comedies work, is we relate to them. There's nothing relatable in this movie because all your like people in the real world are fucking shitbags. So all you're telling me is that like everyone in this world is a piece of shit, and this Blake guy sucks, but he has to deal with all these shitty people. And I guess that's the only reason I feel for him a little bit, is because if I had to deal with that cop, that priest, that doctor, I would be like, all right, man, what the fuck's going on? Is someone playing a cruel joke on me or whatever?
Right. But you would deserve all that because you suck and the way you treat everyone else around you. So I couldn't feel any compassion for you. But that's the thing. He's not. If he was relatable and likable, I'd be like, man, this guy is going through it. This is. Yeah. I'm rooting for him just to put all these people in their place. You know what? And he's going to get his revenge to whatever degree that could be. It doesn't have to be physical, but he can get his comeuppance somehow, right?
Or like I said, where it's like everyone keeps calling him this rich boy, this fucking trust fund kid, and he never once goes, "That's not who I am."
He said it once to the cop. He's like, "I'm not a trust fund kid," when he put him in there.
Yeah.
But prove it.
Even Randy, yeah, exactly. Like prove it. Like show your like fucking Midwest card or whatever the fuck you came from, or I don't know, anything. But like instead, like this scene is weird because they leave the scene, but we stay in the scene. Our main characters have left, but this cop that is friends with Pauly Shore calls Lou Ferrigno's character over. They awkwardly
here's
hug.
The guy. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the guy I was telling you about. They awkwardly hug with Pauly Shore sitting down, and Lou Ferrigno just like leans down with his massive muscles and is just like, I'm gonna just like scoop you up like a baby and just hug you for a minute, Pauly Shore. They just stay here. Like these are the assholes that funded this movie, so they get to fucking do whatever they want, and we just have to watch this bullshit.
No, I totally agree. The movie slowed down. It took a chance, but it just botched it so bad of what I'm supposed to care about. And because that could have been a moment where you're like, dude, like, are you going to straighten up and fly right? Because now you got a kid. But
and Pauly Shore's like, no, you guys got to stay together. You got a baby. That's great. And they're like, shut the fuck up, Randy.
Right. So it takes the annoying opposition that is Randy to be like, you guys should stay together and do it for the kids, just like the Blink song. And then they're just like, stay together for the kids. He's like, yeah, let me play it right now. And then we go there. They go their own separate ways, right? They split up.
Yeah, she splits the fuck up. She goes to stay with her parents. It shows her like with a little baby. Oh, she's at the baby doctor with her friend. She's like, I don't want to do this alone. And her friend's like, you're not. And it's like,
Girl power.
Yeah, and then
Because
she's like,
let's
"Oh,
make
he's a
her a
beautiful
weak
little boy," and
female.
I'm like, "You're looking at a fucking uterus. Nothing's like, oh, that's a beautiful little boy. It's like, no, that's a little like gray shape. What the fuck are you
Yeah,
talking about?"
they make her a weak female through to the very end.
Yeah,
Like she can't stand on her own. She's not strong. She's not confident. She's
she
not,
can't fucking talk to Randy on her own. She
yeah,
can't.
it's just whatever.
It's so disappointing because again, she's like the most competent actress in the movie, and you're just like, what the fuck, movie? What the fuck? Did you just you liked her face and that's what you went with? But then when she like showed potential, you were like, no, stop that, no. This is Pauly Shore's movie and this Blake guy's movie. Even though we're gonna give him like 12th billing on IMDb, okay? I don't know why we did that. We did that. Not to be funny.
Really weird.
And so he's just like got a job, some soulless office job. We see him slow motion walking with his coffee mug that he's kept, and then they both get a call from Edna. They got to finalize some shit on Saturday, and you're just like,
They're selling the house, Dustin.
Yeah, they're selling the house, and yeah, of course they're both going to be there. Why would they assume the other one's not going to be there, Kevin? Like, what the fuck?
So they show names on this. I thought, wouldn't Dad be on there? Did Dad sign for this, or did we just take his money? I don't know.
He just took the money. And so he sees his pregnant, now ex-wife for the first time.
Did they get divorced? I don't think they got divorced.
I don't think they, I'm just assuming,
Okay.
No, because who knows? Because the movie time
they just took some time apart.
Fucking 3 months or some shit. I don't know.
Whatever.
And he is like, "Oh, you look beautiful, but look at this house." They're both like, "Did you do this? Did you do this? This house looks great. Everything's fit."
I was super confused.
And I was like,
is there a glitch in the Matrix? These motherfuckers just reset? Like, did they wake up?
Like, what the fuck? That's the first time you're seeing the woman you love pregnant with your child that you were very excited about when you found out, even as she was breaking up with you in jail, and you're still excited about it. And this is all, you don't even like show any sort of emotion. I was just like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, it was odd.
It was so just like not believable in an already not believable movie. But then there's Randy, Kevin, pops out behind. He's well dressed in that same white
straight and narrow, Dustin. You want to know why? Got rid of his antiquities. He sold like Napoleon's fucking jockstrap, and now he's rich.
No, it's Napoleon's hat. Come on.
I know, dude. Come on. Let me have a joke. The movie don't got no fucking jokes. Let me have something.
Yeah, he's like, I did this. I fixed the house for you guys.
Did they fix it? Because like when they said,
because the old
no. When they said it was trashed, it looked like some stuff got knocked over. Like
he pulled a major electrical wire from the wall.
Oh, that's right. There was a big montage of the house getting wrecked, and the old here's an old dude on Molly going through a wall, and yeah. Okay, you're right.
I was like, man, these walls, what the fuck? Someone should have done an inspection before buying this house. He's driving through those like butter. So, he was just like poop, 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 poop. So, yeah, and he's just like, this was my home. My parents died. I didn't know what to do with it. So I just moved into the guest house because I felt like I didn't deserve it. But I want a family to live here. That's why I didn't move on. And I was like, he's totally dead.
I was like, is this a ghost? I was like, thanks, Randy. I don't need any character development in the last 10 seconds of the movie.
And especially not for your character, okay?
Like, I was like,
of
what?
all the fucking people, I don't need fucking squatter rights guy to fucking do this for me. I was just like, this doesn't, like, I knew they were going to bullshit it this way.
Yeah.
Like, I just knew it. I was like, you're going to do fucking the baby angle and he'll fucking leave. Until you begged for that sequel at the end, but whatever. And so he's like, let me take you to the guest house. And then you see that it's a kid's playroom.
Prison.
Yeah, I was just like, it's weird that you put this the furthest away point from where they're living. And whatever. I would have
been like, this should be the dad's room so we can get away from the baby.
Yeah, I was just like, oh man, that's hard tile under all that carpet. That kid's going to clonk its head so fucking bad. Like all the time. You're going to be like, this is a death trap. Why didn't he redo the floors? What a dick. And so, yeah, he's just like, I'm outie. You two get back together. And then that's it. They don't even talk. They're just like, yeah, we're going to have a baby here.
And when they teleport and the baby's like 16, he's like chopping wood.
Baby's not a baby. The baby's like fucking 3 or 4 or some shit. And he's like, I got a video from Randy. And he's like, should we play it? And she's like, no. And he's just like, earmuffs the kid, because you saw Old School, right? You love that part. Well, we're gonna steal that too, because
what? Dude, ugh, who remembers that movie?
Me, when they said that line, I was just like, Jesus Christ, fucking
dude, weird.
Oh, that's the you part. All the shit you brought up. All right, fucking whatever.
I didn't source Old School.
Watch some fucking pointless video of Randy on a boat or going around the world. He's like, I'm going around the world in a boat. It's like a speedboat, but like whatever.
I think I wasn't. I don't think it was a speedboat, but it wasn't like
a large fishing, like sport fishing.
I think the joke was just to show the possum again on the boat. Like, LOL. Remember that scene?
Yeah. Well, no, we're gonna get to that possum in the credits for a second. But yeah, and so you go around. It's like, hey, remember his friends? They're all there. Why? I don't know. I don't care. They had a boat filming day, and he's like, I'll be there next weekend. I was like, I thought you were going around the world in a boat, and you've been gone for like 3 years.
Like, why are we sharing contact information with him?
Yeah, I don't understand. And it's like, you set this up as a kid's room. Why are you assuming you get to come stay in the guest house, dumb fuck? Like, this is your kind gesture of like, I'm sorry.
Had a lot of problems, but that one really pushed me over the edge.
It did, because I was just like, what the fuck, man? You're gonna be like, no, kick all this kid shit out. Fucking,
that's just rude.
Sucks. So, and then I'm watching the credits, Kevin. They're going by quick because obviously we had one location. Like,
I turned this off immediately.
I took it to the bitter end, because then this one song played that you will likely hear at the end of this, everybody. And I look, and it says, usually it's like, the Humane Society was present and watched all handling of the animals. It says the Humane Society was mostly present, and we definitely didn't harm any animals. And I was like,
that thing got
killed
hurt.
That fucking possum.
I think
they killed that possum. Or the boat day, they were like, we lost the possum at sea. And
ooh, that's a bold acquisition.
I'm just, allegedly. But why else would you put that unless something kind of maybe like they were mostly there? Like, it was kind of hard to get a hold of them. We didn't really have the time or patience for them. There was that one time we threw the possum down the table or something. I don't know.
Assumption. You didn't really acquire anything, but
it was.
I can't believe you made it that far into the credits, Steven.
Oh no, I watch all these movies to the bitter fucking end intentionally. So,
I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone that works on it appreciates that. It's a lot of work, everyone, to do a film.
Them.
So
I don't read them. I just
that's rude. So
yeah, don't fucking put kudos in my mouth, okay?
I was gonna, the candy bar.
Either.
As sometimes the movies may not turn out the best, or it's hard work to make a movie. So shouts to people in those credits, man.
God, don't fucking.
You're like, I didn't read them.
Yeah, you didn't even watch them.
I don't.
And that was the end of Guest House 2020. Kevin, what would you recommend this movie if someone was looking for a comedy?
You got to be a real diehard Pauly Shore fan.
Are there diehard Pauly Shore fans? I mean, I can understand being diehard 90s Pauly Shore fan, but like modern day, we're still a fan of Pauly Shore. I mean, that headshot, yeah. I mean, I'd fuck him, but
Listen, what? Like, here's the thing, man. It's got a lot of things that people that like this stuff are gonna like. It's got the wacky comedy in it, but it's not really my style. I didn't really find any of it humorous. Like I said, there's some nice shots in there. I like some of the set. I like the way they use the pool space. I like I like things in the movie. Most definitely. Like, I just not a fan. It's just the characters that have to do all the lifting to be humorous, and I just couldn't get into any of it. It was really, really hard. Other than the Chris Kattan scene, that I honestly say, hey, that was a quick,
that was surprising.
A quick 30 seconds of humor, But yeah, it just didn't resonate with me. I didn't really the teasing of a character or an actor that I like, and I didn't get to see him get a chance.
You really
to
gotta
shine.
stop expecting stuff from him. So
Dude, what are you talking about? I haven't seen him in hardly anything, and there's two
I
comedies
mean,
in there. The man's a comedian. I
I
figure they at
know.
least if I have a comedy and I
You
cast a
figure. See, that's the
comedian,
problem. You figure, and then they don't. So,
yeah, give him a time to shine. Give him a feature character. They love doing that shit, but I don't get it.
yeah.
And these they just don't for whatever reason. But it's a hard pass on this. Like unless you're like I said, you got to just be morbidly curious or just unreasonable Pauly Shore fan that can't be reasoned with. But yeah, no, I can't.
Yeah, that it's I have a hard time calling it a comedy. I don't, like I can watch and enjoy drug induced comedies. I'm not a drug user, so sometimes it's hard for me to really be like, haha, that's hilarious. But I can
And it
suspend my disbelief for a moment and just
it
kind of go
wasn't
with
even
it.
really that though.
Yeah.
It wasn't a stoner
Well, they just
comedy
kept
or like a.
I
It
know, but
was
they just
just
kept bringing it up. It was a prominent feature of his character and Pauly Shore's character and the movie. Just even if they didn't use it to even its full druggy potential. But it's just, yeah, it's an unlikable world filled with unlikable characters, and that's the part where I didn't like it. It's like
yeah,
I get everyone has their different styles and versions of comedy, and
sure,
clearly
sure.
it's like there was two movies. There was like this young generation that like grew up watching Pauly Shore, making this movie with Pauly Shore, and then like Pauly Shore and his friends just doing Pauly Shore and his friends
Yeah.
stuff. And that didn't really work to me. Like if this movie had like sometimes good comedies are just dramas with comedic elements, and this
Hmm.
movie could have easily been that and worked perfectly, but
Yeah, I
it
can see that.
wasn't. So, or just Billy Zane versus Pauly Shore. That would have been a 10 times better movie.
I mean, with the characters they had, there could have been totally a billion different ways they could have went about it. But it's all, yeah, just I don't know.
Yeah, it's like they watched that sorority movie or whatever it was with Zac Efron and that other guy that does improv or ad libs, Seth
What?
Rogen. And they were just like, we could do that in a backyard. And then they didn't. So
Yeah, that maybe that too. But
he's like, I don't know what that movie is. I don't know.
I'm very confused. But
Look it up. It's a movie.
yeah, so maybe next time, maybe in Guest House 2.
Maybe Chris Kattan's delivery character. That's the spinoff I want to see. Just
Yeah.
let
Yeah,
Chris
man.
Kattan write it though. Not
Like you
these
said,
guys.
comedy's hard. There's all different styles and kinds, and it's just didn't land with me. But like you said, it's the Guest House. It's Pauly Shore. It's 2020. This has been Us versus Movies. We got it on the YouTube. We got us on your favorite podcast providers. Go there, check it out. If you like it, tell a friend. If not, tell him anyway. Maybe he'll like it, or maybe she will. You never know. Got anything for the people, Dustin?
You can find us on social media if you want to interact. It's Us versus Movie on Twitter and Instagram. We will respond to your messages. So if you want to give some movie recommendations or just say hello, you like the show, you didn't like the show, either way, we're fine. We could take it. That's where you can find us. And thank you for listening, everyone.
See you later.